Keep Fear Games.
Awesome glare, so I was gonna try and help. I can't see anything, so we're good. It's fine. Everything's great.
Don't worry, nobody's watching.
Wouldn't care if they were. Over it. I'm gonna make the internet my universe.
But there's definitely a market for this kind of stuff online. If you want to get obsessed about drawing stuff, we could partner up and I could write some adventures and we can make maps and see if we can...
I mean, even something like this, if you had done this and then you're like, okay, go draw all the furniture, I'd be like, yes, because you've taken some of the, I guess, the intimidation out of it, you know, of making something like that, and then it's like, cool, like...
I think people would pay you to draw their characters, too. That's like
I literally offered to do that. I need to streamline my stuff to, like...
You should work it out from here. To offer it.
I mean, they're really generous too. I just sold a game through these guys. Like, they helped me sell a copy of Kingdom Death, and they didn't take much for it. Like, they were really, really cool about it. So, you know, I would not mind. But then the question is, like, what are people actually willing to pay? That's the thing.
I guess it depends on how much. It's probably the same thing, you know, like how detailed, how big, you know, like.
Yeah. Because I did, like, well, I can show you guys. Are we still waiting for the boys?
No, we're going to start.
Okay, I'll show you guys later what.
So, who are we, Sal? These guys?
Yep.
Sure. At least we have Chuck.
I know, right? Chuck, you better roll real good tonight.
Alright, so last we left our heroes.
Yeah.
You were headed to Seaton.
We were.
Primarily driven by the two players who aren't here tonight, so I'm kind of eager to find out what the heck happens in Seaton.
Just turn it around. Just abort.
Where's that? I felt as though they had plans for things in Seaton. And
Is
now,
this Seaton or a dungeon?
This is definitely not looking like Seaton.
I had it drawn, so I figured I'll fit it in somewhere.
I'm fine with that. Okay, so
Either that or take it somewhere else for tonight.
Yeah. Like, oh, they disappeared. Guess we're not going to Seaton.
Go back to wait for the boat. Oh wait, the unicorn had the lamp. I can't wait for the boat.
Okay, so
And our ship's not here, so we can't fast forward to the ship.
And we have to wait a week. If I'm not mistaken, we had to wait a week anyway for the ship to come back.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the thing. We had to wait for the ship to return so we could signal it, and then we could do our
Do you have
thing.
any other quests we can go do? Or is there anything else listed? Or?
I mean, you guys had already started working on the Dreadwood, where you fought the hag and all that stuff.
I don't know, whatever.
I'm happy to return there.
So you guys could always return to the Dreadwood and see what happens in Seaton when the brothers get back.
Sure.
We could do that.
Yeah, because they're like the whole key to that thing, right? One's got a deal, one's making a plan, or.
Okay. So, where is the Deadwood in relation to where we are?
All right, so
Hold, please.
Yeah.
take a look at the map real quick.
We're very sorry we're underprepared today.
No, this is a great lesson for DMs on how to change things up.
Yeah. Fly by the seat of one's pants.
Improv is like the greatest skill.
Yeah.
Is this really unpreparedness, though? I mean, this is just we're changing our minds.
All right, so borrowing your pen still.
That's okay. I got another one in my thing anyways.
So there's Saltmarsh,
Yeah.
and there's the haunted house
Yeah.
that turned out not to be haunted.
Liars.
Because people don't understand magic.
Cost us one of our tanks.
And here's the Dreadwood
Oh, okay.
down here.
So we're just headed the other way.
Where were we in the Dreadwood last time we were there?
So last time you traveled up this road to the Dwarven Mine,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you followed this road down to the Dreadwood. So you were down here in the Dreadwood before,
Okay.
and then you came back to Seaton and back to the haunted house. So you basically just been coming back and forth along.
Making a lot of L shapes.
Yeah.
I see a dotted line that's slightly inland going up and down that sort of following the shape of the coast.
Here?
A little, same thing but further up.
Here? Or there?
Yeah, that one. What is that a road? Is
Yeah.
That the road? Okay, so
So
have
this is
we-
this is basically a loop that comes down here.
Okay. But we haven't even gone that side of the loop yet, have we?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, because you guys you went from Saltmarsh to the mine,
Alright.
and from the mine to the Dreadwood, and from the Dreadwood back to Seaton, back to the haunted house.
Alright, so I'm thinking, guys, do we want to just follow the road back to the woods that we've been in?
Doesn't matter.
Start there and just keep forging our path through the woods?
It's like we're going underground somewhere.
I mean, I could always break out the dry erase
Yeah, this works.
map.
Yeah.
That's all right, yeah.
That or five. We could also, like, it looks as if the elevation increases, so I'm assuming that's almost a mountain range in between that road that loops back up and then the Deadwood.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this area here is a large hill.
Okay.
So like Saltmarsh is almost at sea level,
Right.
and then the haunted house is on that cliff,
Right.
as is the mine. So like you're climbing uphill along the coast.
Because I'm curious to know if there's anything in the middle of that elevated hill.
The crest of this hill up here.
Yeah.
What do you know? There's the entrance to this place right here.
Right? Well, I'm wondering, like, can we see anything since the elevation's higher? Is anything described in your masterful godly plans?
There's a door.
Right? You just really want to use this map. I don't blame you.
All right, so you guys want to head to the crest of this hill?
Sure.
It's 500 feet above sea level, so it's a good.
What do you think, guys? Let's go on a little mini trip?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Since the other boys are just taking their time. So, yeah. I got nothing better to do. And Ned will stay alive.
And Ned, for now, will stay alive.
Ned,
Yeah,
Ned will
where-
stay
Maybe we
alive.
can stash Ned here.
That's a good idea. Where is Ned's miniature, by the way?
Oh,
He's
I
in
forgot about Ned's
He's in
miniature.
limbo.
You send him to limbo.
Ned? Yeah. Ned doesn't get one tonight. He's a ghost.
He's
Oh yeah,
gonna
your
be a ghost.
miniature's missing too, actually.
No, that's right. Everything's okay. No, they got mine.
Oh, yours. I see.
There's Ned. I'm gonna have to get one of these neoprene mats because the miniatures slide well.
Every time I see that miniature, I keep thinking of the previous campaign. My character just dropped down and just kicked him in the head.
It's Ned.
Dead Ned.
Ned.
Or soon to be dead Ned.
Oh, what is that rhyme? That's gonna make it a thing.
Yup. You're welcome.
Ned's days are numbered.
Hard on me.
Not yet dead Ned.
We have viewers. We'll have them vote to kill Ned or not.
We should do that. We have
Hunger
yet.
Games.
Viewers never thought though.
That's the thing, though. I've never seen them actually say anything to us in the chat.
You can custom build these Twitch things. I was reading a little bit about it. So
Chat's
I
I
not
don't
don't
know.
here
even see the
anymore.
chat open.
Yeah, so I don't know
Chat's
quite
gone.
how this is set up.
Well,
There's a way
I
to.
had been on the chat at one point and checked in to see if it worked because we didn't get
Yeah,
anything.
but I know you can custom build these, so I don't know how they have theirs done or
Yeah.
whatever.
Now that it looks like they've changed. That's okay though.
I do think you have to be a subscriber in order to comment. right?
No.
You weren't a
I
subscriber?
literally turned on my Twitch account, logged in, and
No, you have
opened
to
up
be
our
subscribed
stream.
in order to donate. Usually with Twitch.
And subscription members, like, sometimes they'll get, like, you can like or subscribe. Apparently there's a difference. I'm learning these things. And the subscription people will get certain things because you pay to be subscribed. So they'll get, like, a perk, like a custom emoji or something, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I logged on and I subscribed today,
Did you?
hoping that I could go back and watch old episodes so I could remember what was in Seaton because our notes disappeared.
Sorry. I didn't know that they actually mattered. Don't worry. Now I do everything in Google Docs. So we're fine.
Oh, cool. If it's in Google Docs, you can just share it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that?
Unless she's
Got
got
you.
bad things to do about it. Brad not doing well tonight.
Brad is the worst. Actually, I'm going to put that in here right now.
Actually, like that.
Yep. I'm going to increase the size of this really quick. Excuse me, dear viewers, as I harass our DM, because that's what a
Size.
smart player does.
Max.
Yes.
Yes, the player who really wants their character to level up and survive harasses the
Absolutely.
DM.
That's it. You learned
Did
it
we?
here, folks.
We didn't level last time, did we?
Not
No,
yet.
not yet.
Okay.
So the rest of you will level by the end of the night. Sal will not.
Do you want me to share this job with you? Oh, leverage against the almighty.
Oh, what's that? Avalanche heading right towards south.
Rocks fall, Sal dies.
Sal rolls wild magic every turn.
Here's the actually I would love that. But here's the awkward thing about this. I'm trying to increase the size of the font in Google Docs and it will not let me on the iPad version.
Interesting.
I slightly hate this right now.
Okay.
Anywho,
So,
let's hike up the hill.
Alright, so you guys start hiking up the hill. As you do, in the distance you can see a variety of different farmhouses and vineyards. You know, kind of your typical countryside. So this apparently is where a lot of the rural folk live and supply the food source for both Salt Marsh and Seaton. Food source other than fish, right?
Okay.
So the farms. You're a water cleric though.
I was gonna ask, we have a cleric and then barbarian. No, yes, and
Road.
rogue.
whatever you're asking, I rolled a 17, so.
Okay. Right. So our ranger is gone.
Oh, that's a good point. You do have a ranger in there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
assuming the ranger's still with you, he points out that the farms look mostly like varieties of different grains. So like your wheat, barley, rye, that sort of thing. So things that would make bread and things that would make beer,
Any
ale.
mills? Are there any mills in the area, like windmills or anything, where you can see people might process their own greenery, like that kind of thing?
Yes.
All right. I want to visit one and I want to buy stuff.
You want to visit a...
I want to visit one of the farms and I want to buy stuff from a mill. Yeah.
Look at all those chickens.
I went to a windmill in Holland, and true story, it was the coolest experience ever, and I bought the pancake mix there. It was amazing. So now I'm gonna do this in D&D.
Chuck says he's heard this is where the beer comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck, you follow me. I'll lead you to greatness.
It's Chuck's chance to get raw beer.
But since the staple food source is fish,
Yeah.
you know, you have to have the things that go with fish,
Yep.
right?
Chips.
Yeah.
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Chip trees.
Yes.
So on your way to the windmill, you pass by a small potato farm that seems to be run by a family of halflings.
Potatoes.
So-
Also known as solid vodka.
Solid vodka, yes.
I wave as we're passing them.
A particularly young halfling waves vigorously, happy to see another halfling walk by.
Yeah. You're just a celebrity.
Swipe right up.
Tim, it's your people.
Tim, that's your life if you hadn't become a sailor.
Yep.
Simple life on the potato farm.
How does it feel? Do you ever wish you had chosen this life?
You're a halfling. Have you been re-rolling your ones the whole time?
I haven't gotten it once.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
So,
You know you can re-roll them, though, right?
That's how good
I
he
had no
is.
idea, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Important. That's the best feature of being a halfling,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
other than eating 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
Guys, I figured out how to increase font size just in case anyone wanted to know.
Fantastic. I look forward to seeing how bold you make your disparaging remark.
I just saw her pressing it so urgently.
Okay, anywho.
All right. There's another farm that you pass by on the way to the windmill, and it's a poultry farm. It gets louder as you get by, and it's not a very pleasant smell, as you realize that there's a vast quantity of chickens that appear to be cooped together in various little domiciles.
Like uncomfortably cooped?
This is a rural area. We're not talking like Tyson chicken.
Okay. Check it. Sure.
But if you want to save a chicken, you're welcome to.
Yes. Guys, chickens are friendly. I had a pet chicken once, and we should definitely take one of these chickens with us and make it our own. We have a chicken. Yeah?
In Inverness, they have abyssal chickens. It's like an actual animal.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Need stats.
I think you guys are having like
So you now have a pet chicken.
I'm thinking about it.
Did you want to stop and buy a chicken?
I'm thinking we should. How much would this chicken cost me?
You can buy a chicken for 3 silver pieces.
I'm gonna buy a chicken.
What are you calling it?
nugget.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Salad nugget.
Nugget the chicken.
Give me a charisma check as you introduce yourself to your new friend.
I'm very charismatic, let me tell you. So charismatic.
Is there a chicken mini?
That's not good. That's
Oh,
like
I
a
thought that's
12.
what you were reaching for.
I'm not that thorough.
Yeah, it's a 12.
A 12? Alright, well, your chicken kind of likes you.
Alright, well, I'll go with that.
We're going to have to print a chicken for next week. I will print a chicken.
Yes!
Chicken minis.
Yes! I think this is brilliant and it should be a thing. And then we can make plushies after Nugget. Oh my gosh, there's so many great things we can do with this.
I don't think you got my chicken mini pun.
Oh, I did. No, I was just gonna say we can make little chicken nuggets. We can make little mini plush nuggets.
All right.
Next week we're gonna have a different map. There're gonna be like 50 chicken miniatures everywhere.
Yes. All right. So that was 3 silver.
Hopefully we won't have to eat Nugget.
We're never eating Nugget. He is our friend. We have named him, therefore we will not eat him.
Sure.
I've named
Unless we're
things like
desperate.
Yeah.
Wait a
Unless we're
second.
desperate.
Okay, wait, we have chicken, we have Nugget, but chicken, what kind of, is this a chicken or a rooster? Like a hen or a rooster?
Did you want a rooster?
No, I want a hen, because
Okay.
she'll lay eggs. But do we need a rooster in order to make that happen? I don't know.
No, you do not.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the hen will lay eggs you can eat.
Yeah. If you want, you only need a rooster if you want more chickens.
Okay. Alright, that's it. We're good. Look, I got eggs for life now. Okay.
Yeah, the eggs you eat are unfertilized.
Things I didn't know. Probably should read up on this one.
And now we have somebody else to send ahead in case there's straps.
We will not, good sir.
It's Nugget or Ned, so it's your choice.
Hey,
Nugget, I need you to scout the map. If anyone
I
comes up,
paid
take
for
the snack.
Nugget. I didn't pay for Ned.
Well,
Anyway,
Slavery existed.
Well, the older human male who is selling you the chicken His name is Rickus.
Rickus?
Yep. And he doesn't seem very friendly. He doesn't, or maybe he's shy. Who knows? He's a man of few words.
I've been there. Sam.
And he goes, I just raise chickens. That's all I do.
Do you have any friends, Rickus?
Well, I had 3 daughters. One of them's gone missing.
Gone missing?
Yeah.
How long ago?
It's been sad. She met a young man in Seton and, well, haven't seen her since.
How long ago did she go missing?
Well, about 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks? I'm gonna write this down. What's her name?
About that time, his, who you assume is probably his younger daughter, comes bounding out. She's a young girl with a pair of braided pigtails, and she looks to be maybe 11. And she comes bounding up to you and says, "Are you heroes? You're blue, and you have a sword, and are you a lizard? And why are you buying a chicken?"
So I kneel down and I put my hand on her shoulder and I say, "We are heroes sometimes. We do things, but not to be heroic, because they are right."
Oh, can you save my sister?
I would like to try. What's her name?
He looks strong.
He is strong, yes. But he is
Strong.
different.
Yes, he's strong.
He's strong. He's strong. We'll just leave it strong.
So is he a lizard? She kind of whispers that to you. I've heard lizard men are nasty.
No. He's not a lizard man. He's a dragon.
A dragonborn? You're a dragon?
Yeah.
But he's a very friendly-ish dragon compared to other dragons. So he's one of the good guys.
I thought dragons were red. You're blue. And you're blue too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of blueberries.
Actually,
she looks
I go
nervous
like this.
now.
I go, spread your fingers. Because you have webbing between them, right? You, yeah. So I tell him to do that so she can look.
Oh, wow.
I'm from the sea.
Oh, so those are for
Yeah.
swimming.
Yep.
Yeah, I can swim.
Cool. What's your
So-
sister's name?
Her, Helena?
Helena.
Yeah.
How old is Helena?
Well, she's twice my age.
And how old are you?
I'm 9.
What's your name?
I'm Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. And I say, I'm Sal. We're friends now.
Oh, I like having friends.
Me too.
So we're not strangers, right? She looks up at her dad.
Well,
Dad says not to talk to strangers.
Rickus, I want to help you, and I want to help your beautiful daughter. And we're going to bring Helena home.
He says, well, I hope you can make that happen.
I'm definitely going to try. And then I look back down. Oh my god, I just forgot the little one's name. What's her name?
Nikki.
Nikki? Okay, I look at Nikki and I say, what is your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? Well, I mean, we raise chickens, so I like chickens because Daddy says without chickens we couldn't afford the house. And I like my house. But I think my favorite animal is a unicorn.
I was just gonna guess that. So I prestidigitate a little unicorn and I hand it to her and I'm like, here, hang on to this. It won't last forever, but its magic will always stay with you.
Ooh. She takes the unicorn and she gets all excited. And she says, I'm gonna go show Blue.
Blue?
And she starts, and Rickus says, that's our hound dog.
Oh, nice. I like dogs. So, tell me more about this Helena. You said she met somebody. Do you know who this person is that she met?
Well, and he kind of pauses as Nikki runs away to go show her dog the unicorn. He says, "It's kind of embarrassing, really. I mean, she fell in love with a man, but he was a married man."
Well,
and he's kind of a big deal in Seton.
What's his name?
His name is Lord Camber. He fancies himself a noble.
Does he now?
Yeah.
How do I spell Lord? What's his name? Campbell.
Camber.
Like
We have a
Campbell
noble that sometimes
Camber
travels
with
with
an R.
us. He's kind of whiny.
Yeah, this one was kind of whiny too. He didn't ever want to get his hands dirty.
Yeah,
He
they're
thought-
like that.
He thought chickens were messy.
Yeah, a little bossy.
Yeah,
Sounds like Helena dreamed of bigger and better things.
she did, but I feel so bad that she chose a married man.
Well, we can't always choose who we fall in love with.
That's true. It's not like she fell in love with somebody old.
Well, I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with falling in love with someone older either. It brings a sense of experience.
Rinkus, would you lend us your dog?
Well, yeah, he's a hound dog.
So he should be able to find your daughter. You have something that smells like her.
Oh, yeah, he sleeps on her bed every night since she's been gone. He misses her terrible.
That's so sad.
So we can borrow your dog.
If you come back with my daughter, you could have the whole farm.
Well,
Well,
it's okay.
maybe,
We'll need the dog
maybe
though.
yeah. Do we want the farm?
No, we don't want the farm.
We don't need the farm.
We're happy just borrowing your dog.
Okay.
The dog's there.
Well,
And if you'll feed us, when we come back,
well, of course.
Or now. We haven't really done much since we
or now and
went
when
to
we
the
come back.
ghost.
Evidently,
Would you
Sour's
mind
very hungry.
offering us a place to stay if we needed it?
Well, you're welcome to stay here. I mean, we don't have a lot of space, but we got plenty of food. We trade our chickens, and it's been a good year. We've got halflings, potatoes, and
I say, what time of day would this be, by the way?
I figure it's midday. It's kind of hot out.
Midday? Okay.
Do you have like a barn we can sleep in and get something to eat?
Well, most of his farm is hen houses.
Oh, okay.
But he does have a small barn.
Yeah.
And then what about like, so what would the amount of time have been that's passed since, like, I think the sun was rising when we were at the ghost house? And then, like, we were there overnight.
Yeah, so it's about a half a day, right? Sorry, about a half a day.
So it's been about a half a day, right? So that's it. So we haven't had like a long rest yet then, right?
You took a long rest in the house?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, because
Okay.
then it was morning when we got up. So
Okay. All right. So then we're rested enough that we could go do what we want to do during the afternoon.
and come back there and stay or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then I explain that to Rikus and I say, we still plan to venture further. We want to see a little bit more of these beautiful lands, but we will return and then we will look for Helen.
Yeah, come back around sunset.
I think we can do that.
All right, and Blue will be ready to go.
Sounds good. All right.
Works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say we keep wandering up the hill. See what else we can see before
Sure.
sunset.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
I forgot about the windmill at this point. I'm good. I'm gonna just
you don't need to go to the windmill?
not yet.
Well, the windmill's at the top of the hill.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still
The
hitting
door.
the windmill. Right. Okay. I got you.
Because it makes sense that the windmill would be where it would catch the most wind.
That is true.
So you climb up the hill past the chicken farm, and as you approach the windmill, there's a significant smell of alcohol. as you see that.
I know. I was gonna say I look at Chuck.
It smells like skyfish.
And it's kind of like that sour mash smell. It appears to be several barn-sized buildings, probably where they're brewing ale or storing ale. And then on the other side of those barns, there's several small fields, and there's the windmill and several large fields beyond that.
Okay. So does Chuck want to go check out the ale? See if he can buy some?
Well, Chuck understands that this is where they're making it, so maybe they have a sampling down at the mill.
Well, so as you're approaching, two men come riding up on horseback. They look rather serious, and they, as they ride up, they're like, "What are y'all doing here?"
It's your turn, Tristan.
We came to shop at the mill.
To shop at the mill. So you're tourists?
Well, we're also looking for Rickus's
Helena.
daughter, Helena.
However you say it.
Oh, well, I heard about that.
So we said we'd have a look around and see what was going on.
Can I eat the horse?
What?
Calm down, buddy.
Can you eat the horse?
Yes. I'm a bit hungry.
Well, this is a good riding horse.
Our friend's brain has yet to grow in.
Do you have
If
any?
you're looking for an eating horse, we've got a couple of old mares that we've been trying to unload.
Do you want us to get you some horse?
Do lizard folk always eat horse?
Well, I'm not sure about lizard folk, but this dragon folk does.
Oh, you're a dragon folk.
Yes.
I've heard scary things about lizard folk, so good to know that you're not a...
No, he's one of the good ones.
You can eat
He's a
nugget
great
if you're hungry.
protector.
People get confused with us, but I don't know why.
You're really craving for
In
death.
fact, I've heard that many people really idolize and sometimes worship these dragon folk and sometimes will offer sacrifices such as a horse in honor of them, and they will receive protection from magic and spirits.
You'll protect our land from evil spirits?
When he's present, in fact, he did help eliminate some of the evil in the Deadwood.
The Deadwood? Y'all been to the Deadwood?
We have, and we live to talk about it.
Well, I hope so, or else I'd be talking to ghosts. That'd be weird. In the middle of the day, ghosts? That don't make no sense.
Well,
Nothing gets past this guy.
Well, we're just the hired muscle. The gnomes own the place.
the gnomes?
Yeah, the Dumbledore family.
That's a funny name.
It's inside.
Dumbledores.
Why do they need muscle? Has there been problems?
Well, you never know in these parts. You know, all those crazy folks down in Salt Marsh and, you know, pirates off the coast and ghost houses and...
Stop looking at me.
You're a pirate.
No, I'm not.
And now there's scary tales about lizard folk everywhere.
Oh, I see. So that's why people have been saying this. Tell me, do these lizard folk look so much like my friend here?
Well, I've never seen one. I just heard tell of these people that have like heads like lizards and scales on their body.
Oh,
They also say they got tails like crocodiles, and you don't have a tail.
no.
That's harsh.
Well, tails are overrated anyway. They just get in the way. So,
I hear they help them swim.
I can't swim. Nobody taught me how to swim.
we'll
Well-
get you a nice big boat that you can float on.
If you're a dragon, does that mean you're going to grow wings someday? 'Cause flying's better than swimming, as far as I can figure.
I don't like flying.
Well, don't mean to offend you, Mr. Dragon.
He's a very down-to-earth dragon. like stays on the earth and oblivious.
I heard that about.
Ground's where the chickens are.
So these gnomes, are they down at the mill?
Well, the gnomes are all over. It's a big old clan of them. They work the fields and they brew the ale. So apparently they were forest gnomes, lived in the woods until things got dangerous. So they moved out of the woods and set up this shop and have been making quite a bit of money selling ale to the humans. And then they gave us good jobs. I'd rather ride around on the horse and stab bandits than, break my back in the field all day.
Do the gnomes get along with the locals by the seaport and whatnot?
Well, yeah. I mean, who doesn't like ale?
Well, that's
True.
Our friend Chuck here really likes ale.
That's some good stuff.
So the gnomes make ale. Everybody likes ale. So no one has anything against the gnomes. But, you can't be...
Can't be too careful.
Exactly. That's the phrase I was looking for.
I understand.
So can we get some ale down at the mill?
Did you bring potatoes?
He is not a farmer.
I don't work here.
Oh, you're not from the farm down the hill.
I am not.
Oh, okay. You're one of those halfling folks, so I thought maybe you would come to drop off the potatoes. I didn't see your cart, so I was confused.
He's an adventurer.
Happens a lot.
I was
That
told he was a
explains the
pirate,
sword.
but he said he's not a pirate.
He's a pirate, adventurer. Yeah.
He's not
I'm not a pirate.
He is an
you already said
adventurer who happened to cross the ocean, but not because he's a pirate.
So that would make him a sailor.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, so that's the word you are. Okay.
Yes. Good. See, our dragonborn friend is learning new things today.
Well, it's a good thing he's lucky because he doesn't seem that smart.
His
Does that mean something?
His brain's growing at a fixed rate.
His brain's growing at a fixed rate. He looks at his buddy on the other horse who hasn't said anything yet, and he's like, "Do you know what that means?" And his buddy just kind of chuckles like, he got the joke.
So, where were you headed? Have you had any trouble lately? Everything's been good?
Well, yeah, everything's been fine. My job's pretty easy.
That's good. That's
Like I
good.
said, we had some bandits that tried to, to steal some food from the barn one night. Had to, scare them off.
But the lizard folk that you've heard about, where were they reported being seen if no one has actually seen them in this area?
Well, people say that there's a folks in Saltmarsh who have been trading weapons and giving them to the lizard folk. That's the rumor, that the lizard folk are going to come after us once they get enough, steel,
What does that mean?
metal.
No, I know what steel means. I have steel. What does it mean if they get steel?
Weapons.
They'll be armed.
Well, of course, they have arms.
So,
this
any
what I was like
word
last-
on where these lizard people might be tracked down and stopped?
Well, I don't rightly know, but I'd imagine you could find out more in Saltmarsh.
Yeah, but then we have to
were
go
just
back
there.
to Saltmarsh.
Who's the head gnome around here?
Well, that would be Melvin.
Where's he at?
Well, he's probably down at the windmill.
Well, maybe we'll go ask him. See what he has to say.
Windmill, sounds like a plan.
See if he knows.
No, that sounds like a windmill.
Yes, it is a windmill that we plan to visit.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yes,
But y'all have no intention of starting trouble, right?
none whatsoever.
Unless
good
trouble
sir.
starts with us.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know what trouble is. Then again, I can't read books.
We'll get you educated.
I think our Dragonborn's getting sick. The air is thin up here for him.
So,
if y'all don't mean no trouble, you can take it down to the windmill, and I'll rustle up a horse.
We would greatly appreciate it, good sir.
It never hurts to have the blessing of a dragon.
And this dragon is a good one to have on your side because he comes with all of us.
Oh, okay. I never heard nothing about sacrificing horses to dragons, but it brings good luck, and we got these old mares that don't really, can't get a whole lot of money for an old mare.
That's true. And the thing is, this is a unique custom among the Dragonborn. Only very special Dragonborn.
So he's a special kind of dragonborn.
It'll keep him from eating a chicken too.
It's special in a way that he needs us to be there with him.
His buddy who's sitting on the horse, who hasn't said anything yet, but just keeps kind of chuckling to himself, whispers to the guy who's talking to you, and you can overhear his kind of stage-like whisper. He goes, "The short wagon kind of special."
They keep saying that, and I still don't understand what they mean.
I don't laugh at that in character. I do not. I just nod solemnly.
Well, we're gonna go see if we can find Melvin.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And what was your name, good sir?
Can we eat Melvin?
We're not eating Melvin, we're eating the mare. Don't worry, we got you.
They're giving
but
you a
not
horse.
the mayor of the town, it's a horse. We're gonna get you a horse.
What's a mayor?
Don't worry about it.
No,
A girl
not that.
horse.
I know what that. Never mind.
He says, "I'm Luke."
You have too many words.
Luke, it's been a pleasure. I'm Sal.
Nice to meet you, Sal. The other guy speaks up and says, "I'm Bo."
Hi, Bo. I'm Sal.
Bo and Luke?
Bo and Luke.
Bo and Luke Duke? Is your last name Duke by any chance?
No.
Darn them Duke boys.
You ever heard of the Duke Boys? Is this a moonshine operation?
He looks confused, and he says, "Well, I hear there's a Duke that runs Seton."
Yeah. Alright, well, let's go to the windmill. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, boys.
Can we ride the windmill?
Yeah,
Let's
you
find
can.
out.
You're probably tall enough.
Yes, I am tall, but that doesn't explain the question of.
Yeah, you'll
like,
probably be able to
Tall
grab it
enough to
on the
ride
way.
this ride.
Oh, that's how that works.
All right, to Melvin.
Wait, what?
Alright.
I thought you said we couldn't kill Melvin.
No, we're going to see Melvin.
Oh.
Oh, so you're going to windmill to try to buy pancakes? I think we're at the wrong windmill.
Well, I mean, when he said that we were in like wheat country,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. I want to find a windmill because if you're in wheat country, there's a possibility that if there's a windmill, they grind the wheat. So that was the idea.
Maybe they sell beer and pancakes.
Maybe they do, and that would be the best windmill that ever existed. All they need to do is serve them at the same time, never leaving.
Does it say beer and pancakes over the door when we get there? Or?
When you get to the windmill, it says Bramblebriar Wit Beer.
I love it.
Wit beer.
Good beer. And all right, cool. Is the door just open or is it knocked?
There's a little porch in front of the windmill door, like small porch, like the size of this table. And there's a gnome sitting in a rocking chair, and he's got a big purple hat on, and a green, what looks like a smoking jacket.
Okay.
Like a pimp gnome.
So you should say hi because he's little like you, right? You know, just greet your people.
What do you mean, you people?
What does size have to do with anything?
So
Never
I
have
say,
to worry about that, ever.
hello, good sir.
Oh, hi there.
Would you happen to be Melvin?
I am Melvin, and this is my farm.
Well, I have to say, Melvin, Melvin, you have some quality stuff here. Quality stuff. I really think you have beautiful farmlands. And I gotta say, you know, Luke and Bo, they're pretty good men.
Well, if you have to have some humans around, they're reliable ones.
That is a very good point, sir. As you can see, I don't travel with many humans. In fact, I'm not even fully human myself.
Humans are weird. Humans are very weird.
See, we're not all fans of humans either.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't fans of them. I just said some of them aren't reliable.
That's fair. That's fair. It's true. Now,
Isn't that technically
Melvin, my good sir.
Chuck's very upset.
Chuck doesn't matter. So, I'm like shoving him behind us. Okay. So, Chuck, walk on your knees.
He says, I mean, if it weren't for humans, we wouldn't have nearly the business that we have. And the humans buy not all of our ale.
Well,
they buy the bulk of our ale.
I can tell you, we may have your best customer traveling with us.
Is there ale for sale here?
Well, of course, that's what we specialize in, wit beer.
What about?
Can we try some?
No, not your beer. Beer is stupid. What about pancakes?
Well, Marivelle, she makes some mean pancakes.
Do you sell any of the ground wheat in the area? Any flours of any kind? Any pancake mix, perhaps?
But you don't have pancake mix.
But I want it.
He says, well, we have a little inn on the back side of the farm, and there's fresh pancakes every morning.
So I don't
With
think
beer?
yeah.
I mean, we always have beer.
Pancakes and beer.
Rick is who? So, all right, cool.
We'll get there eventually.
All right. Well, Melvin, my good sir, I think we're going to go visit this inn. It sounds like a wonderful place.
Well, excellent. You look like you can afford the best room.
How much is the best room?
The going rate, of course.
Which would be.
Well, never mind. I don't understand this language.
You have to understand, good sir. We are adventurers. We do things to help people, but we do not always receive rewards for our services and kind deeds. In fact, we are helping Rickus find his long-lost daughter of 3 weeks.
That's a sad tale.
Do you know anything about it?
Well, come into the... kind of looks around very nervously, as if someone could be listening, and there doesn't appear to be anybody around. He says, it's kind of hot out here. Why don't you come inside?
Well, I would love to, and I just march inside.
Yeah. Maybe we can have some ale while we talk about it.
Oh, of course.
Everybody's winning.
So he
Except me. I still don't understand anything.
he pulls you inside. He closes the door, and he pulls some sort of like gaudy looking necklace out of his pocket, his coat pocket.
That is very shiny.
It's on like it's on a silver chain, and then has these like strange like amulets, like 3 different amulets that kind of hang off of it with the various arcane symbols. And he hangs it on the door and kind of taps it.
Would I recognize any of the symbols?
Give me an Arcana check.
Alright.
And you can give me a religion check if you want.
Well, that's that one.
15.
You've heard that that some gnomes have a tradition of having items that ward against intrusive spells.
Ah. Melvin, is that a protection amulet?
Well, of course it is. You never know who's listening.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Well, I'm listening.
Not you.
Oh. Then who?
Don't mind my friend. I think the air it's thinner up here. He's used to downtown.
He says, well, let me tell you a little bit about the Dreadmire.
About the what?
The Dreadmire, the forest.
Oh,
Or
we've
not
been down
Dreadmire,
there.
I'm sorry, that's in Forgotten Realms.
Deadwood.
The Dreadwood.
We've been down there.
I was like, is there another dread thing? All right, cool, got it.
He says, the Dreadwood. My family used to live there, and forest now. It's a forest, right? I mean, it makes sense. Little critters. We commune with all the small creatures and kept the forest clean.
Sounds like Disney.
I like that. I quite
We
like
are
that.
gnomes. Disney was a very popular gnome, by the way. But obviously we don't live there anymore because evil hags moved in, and there's been terrible stories and terrible rumors, things I dare not repeat for fear that the hags might be listening.
Well, we killed one of those.
We
things.
killed
We did
one.
happen to kill one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We're pretty good.
They were very annoying.
Well, annoying's an understatement.
Do you know
What does
how
that
many
mean?
of them there were?
Oh, I had heard that there was a leader that they all called the Granny.
Granny?
Granny.
Granny. Okay. Wow,
We
I got
killed
it.
one that lived in a little cabin.
That one had like little fluffy things that almost killed one of our friends.
Have you ever seen a Zorba?
Oh yes.
Oh, so that's what those are called. Okay.
They're very cute creatures, but you don't want to get close. They'll maul your face.
Oh,
Yeah,
we've been
he
there.
almost died because of that. I don't like those things, but I will eat them.
Are they common
I
in
get the
that
feeling that you'll
forest?
eat just about anything, sir.
No, it looks good. I'm pretty sure I can fillet it just right, but not everything.
Now, are these Zorbas? Are they common in this forest?
I wouldn't say they're quite common, but they are indigenous to the forest.
Alright.
So, what do the hags have to do with the daughter, the missing daughter?
Well, a local druid told me that lord down from Seaton had gotten the poor girl in, a bad way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what you mean.
knocked up.
I still don't know what you mean.
We'll discuss that once we leave.
I got a book for you. You can look through it later.
I told you I can't read.
It's got pictures.
It's got a nice bird in
Sal has enough to know what knocked up means, at least. Give him some credit.
So he says, well, what the druid told me is that he saw the Lord drag the girl into the woods. And, well, when the druid was here, we kind of put our heads together with what I knew about the hags and what the druid had seen, and we kind of speculate that evil lord turned the young girl over to the hags to, do away with his mistake.
I see.
Oh boy.
Did the druid leave, go back to town, or is he still here?
Oh, the druid patrols the edge of the woods, making sure that the creatures don't come out of the woods and affect the farms.
What's his name?
Timber. He's a tall, gray-skinned man.
We told Rickus that we would find his daughter, so we're going to head down and get his dog, so his dog can try to lead us to her.
Well, that would make sense.
Could Timber help us?
Well, I would imagine so. Timber knows the woods pretty well.
Does Timber have a daughter?
Does Timber have a daughter? Not that I know of.
So that girl that was in the cabin, she was just a hag? You don't think her story had any truth to it? These hags are tricky. Well,
Yes.
alright.
hags are downright dastardly.
Is there anything else you can tell us about them? Anything that would help us prepare to fight this evil? There was this weird black magic that some of them used. Some creatures. And it made everything really dark.
Oh, well that sounds terrible.
It was. And I don't want that to happen again. So if you have any pointers when we're killing these hags, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Well, I suggest you get yourself some good wards of protection.
Well, you have one.
Well, I do. That keeps me safe.
Where'd you get it?
From Timber.
All right, Timber's our man.
He goes, come up to the top of the windmill, and I'll show you out the window.
I am ready. I am climbing up the ladders.
So he takes you up to the top, and he points towards the dreadwood out the window, and he says, "Do you see there? It's hard to see in the daylight, but see that little puff of mist that rises up in the middle of the tree line there?"
Yeah, can we see it? Should we roll for it?
No, you guys can see it.
Alright, cool.
You're not under duress.
Yeah.
You can stand there long enough until...
Eventually. Okay. Yeah.
He goes, that's Timber's area. He protects his home with a fog cloud.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, fog clouds, protection. Good to know. Okay.
I know all about fog clouds.
Dude, okay.
I do, yeah. I'm a Tempest player.
Alright, that makes sense. So, okay, well, we'll have to visit Timber after we visit the inn.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let you stay at the inn for half price.
Why
But
would
if I
we
can
do
sleep
such
on
a
the bed
thing?
for free, isn't that better?
If we're to say eliminate the hag granny specifically from this forest, I do feel that would be a great kindness to your people.
Well, it certainly would, but I also have to pay the servants.
Yeah, that's a good point. Half price sounds great.
Okay.
And a couple of free beers.
Oh, you can have all the beer you like. We've got plenty of that.
Yes!
Yeah.
I may not continue on after this part of the adventure.
Alright, so...
So when we see Timber, so he knows we're friendly or whatever, should we tell him we know you, or is there something that you guys have a code between you or something like that for people?
Well, yeah, I mean, he would know me, but the hags would know my name too, so...
Do you have any way of that we would, that Timber would know that you sent us?
Or that we would know Timber is Timber?
Well, that's a good point too. I have an idea.
Okay.
He walks over to it's a large trunk for him because he's a gnome. He pops open his trunk and digs around in there, and he pulls out all sorts of weird trinkets and tidbits and things. And finally, he pulls out this it's a pair of antlers that are attached to a small helmet.
Okay.
It's like a hide skin helmet, leather helmet with these antlers that pop off the top.
Okay.
And he goes, wear this. Well, wear this.
Yes.
And
I'm listening.
and if Timber recognizes the hat, then you know it's Timber, because Timber's the one that gave me that hat.
Okay.
Plus, it makes you look taller.
Very stylish. I think you should never take it off.
I like those antlers, sir.
He gave it to you because you're the only one with a small enough head to wear it.
I had a feeling.
Does that make you a deer now?
No.
Alright. So, it's still daylight. I say we
Only a deer if I grow a
venture
tank.
that way before it gets too dark and scary.
Okay. We have to go get the dog.
Yeah. Alright. Let's go get the dog. Let's get Blue.
We need Blue.
Yeah.
Blue, find a clue.
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
How dare you?
I told you guys I'm ad-libbing all of this.
Yeah, what do we got? We got Bo and Luke Duke here at the Moonshine
Killing it.
Farm. Yeah, we got Bo and Luke Duke at the Moonshine Farm and Blue's Clues.
Oh, what's next? We're gonna walk halfway in the forest. Hey, Dora.
It'd be great if it's Boss Hogg as the hag.
Swipe, no swiping. Alright.
So, all right, so we wander back to Rickus's and pick up the dog.
Yes.
All right. So do you stay for dinner at Rick's house?
Yeah, I guess we'll
Yeah.
start up tomorrow morning so we have a full day.
Yeah, so we start off in the morning.
All right. So you go back to Rick's house. You get the dog. You have dinner. Nikki, the younger daughter, she's very happy to show you all of Blue's puppies.
Okay, and the prestidigitation only lasted an hour, so I assume that that's gone by now. So I make her a new unicorn, but this time it's got wings.
What do you call a unicorn with wings?
A unicorn Pegasus, my favorite.
Wow.
So I'm playing with the puppies. That's my life goal.
You're what?
I'm gonna play with puppies. You said that Blue has puppies?
Blue has puppies.
Yeah, Blue. Yeah, I'm playing with the puppies. Like I'll probably sleep with the puppies.
Nugget is very jealous.
Yeah. Nugget is gonna get along with the puppies because I've seen YouTube. So yeah, they're gonna be best friends. That's what's gonna happen. This chicken was around dogs forever. It's gonna be great. Can I buy a puppy?
Can you buy a puppy?
If we kill the hag, I want a puppy.
Negotiate with Rickus. I'm sure you can get a puppy for his daughter.
That's true. Very true.
So you have dinner at Rick's house,
Okay.
and then you head back to the inn. Stay the night at the inn.
Yeah.
No. We should
No?
stay at Rickus's and take advantage of our night at the inn after the fact, where we can get really boozed up and celebrate our victory.
Chuck is very unhappy at this time.
Yes, well, it's either that or we can celebrate the loss of Chuck, who will somehow mysteriously die in battle.
I don't know what happened to Chuck. Sounds
Chuck just sits down in the corner. Chuck's like, we could have beer and beds. Instead, we're sleeping in the
Sound
floor of the
girl.
bar.
Rickus,
Sounds
good
all
sir,
good.
do you have any ale that you can spare for my friend Chuck? It really helps improve his spirits.
He goes,
That's what they call alcohol.
See what I did there?
Yes.
Rick's goes, I never rightly been an ale guy, but I do have some whiskey stashed away.
Okay.
Sounds like a good idea.
So he reaches behind a cookie jar that's in the kitchen and pulls out two silver flasks, probably his prized possessions in the whole world. And he pours a shot of whiskey for Chuck.
Thank you.
He says, "I'd offer you all one, but this is all I got."
So I remember when we were in like the Goonies pirate ship area, we had found those dresses in the chest before we found the witch's eye.
Oh yeah.
And I was carrying them. So I'm gonna give them to Rickus for his hospitality, and I'm gonna say, if you sell these in market, they're worth gold. And your friendship is like gold to me. And I have two, I think I have two, I had three in total, but I gave one of them to Milady. So yeah, so I'm gonna give him the two.
He goes, well, thank you kindly. This will be nice.
Get more glasses so you can serve people.
I hear you.
I go back to the puppies.
You go back to the puppies.
Yeah. I'm gonna take these out of my inventory. inventory.
All right, Rickus. Well, we're gonna get a good night's sleep and then go find your daughter.
Well, I wish you luck. And about that time, Nikki walks out carrying a stack of blankets. And Nikki says, if you're staying in the barn, you'll need these.
Thanks, Nikki. Where's his other daughter? You said he had 3?
He says, well, my other daughter works for the halfling on the potato farm.
So does she stay on their farm?
She does.
Interesting.
She keeps the house and cooks the meals, and she gets a nice bedroom there all to herself.
Sounds like you're proud of her.
Well, she works hard.
I think all of your people do.
We try.
I'm drawing little like sketches and like making notes. Alright, cool. I'm totally gonna draw all the puppies, by the way. Every single one of them. So I ask if I can sleep with the puppies tonight.
Oh, the puppies stay in the barn with Blue.
Yes, done. Okay. Done.
So Blue's warmed up to us, I assume.
Oh yeah.
Well, especially me. I mean, I'm playing with all the puppies, and we're best friends now.
Just gonna go in the barn the next morning. You're gonna have trouble finding sounds buried in puppies.
Very. I'm gonna duplicate the puppies. I'm gonna magically figure out how to just do like
where'd you go?
tribbles.
Sal, where'd you go? Sal's hand is possible.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So, see, the night's uneventful. You sleep as well as you can for a barn.
It's pretty dirty. Pretty barn well.
We're very punny tonight.
All right. So the rooster crows early, wakes y'all up.
My chicken laying the eggs yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I pet Nugget. I feed her generously. I'm gonna take some extra feed with me because I imagine, she gets good stuff on this farm. I'm gonna take it here with me.
I see the Blue. Are you ready to go find Helena?
Blue wags his tail, and he looks like he's ready to go, or she's ready to go.
All right, the lady. Onward. And I'm gonna say we march right to the forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Blue, take us to her.
Yeah. Well, first we gotta go see Timber. Get protection ambulance.
Okay.
That's on the way. So.
Yeah. Okay. Straight to Timber.
All right, so you head straight to the misty part of the woods,
Yeah.
and it doesn't take long before you spot a what looks like a grizzly bear, kind of prowling around the edge of the forest.
Tim.
Is Blue on
That
a leash?
is a big dog.
Yes, that's a
Do we
dog.
have Blue on a leash, or can we leash her?
Blue instinctively just stops as soon as she gets
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay.
I'm with you, Blue.
Okay. So, Blue, you stay here.
So I generally put Tim.
Yeah,
Shut
I like
the hat.
nudged him. And I push Ned behind you because I feel like maybe you can trip him and run if you need
Yeah,
to.
you guys are best buddies. Come on.
It doesn't mean I'm gonna sacrifice him like everyone else is.
I heard you always sacrifice.
All right, I'm gonna ready. I forgot what my spells were.
You little pirate, get out there.
I'm gonna ready a spell and walk behind him as support just in case anything goes sideways.
All right.
So,
Not me, I'm with the dog.
I know.
Go walk in and see if it works.
Can I pet the big thing?
Did you pet the grizzly bear?
Oh, that's what that's called. I thought that was a dog.
Yes, I'm just gonna walk to it.
Yeah, let's see if I can just.
What do I have
pet
to
it.
do? Walk towards the bear and send you with a hat or something?
That's what they want you to do. You don't have to do it.
I want to pet.
don't
Look,
wanna
I
pet
got a
the
magic
bear.
missile ready to go, my friend. You just walk up and ask if that bear is named Timber. Just ask him.
Oh. just walk up and shout to the bear, "I'm looking for timber!"
At that point, the bear stands up on its hind legs and kind of looks down at you menacingly and just kind of snarls for a minute.
Tweak your
I
hat
point
and
to
say
the hat.
Melvin sent me.
I got this hat from... My accent.
No, don't say who you got it from.
I got this hat from Melvin. He told us to come to you.
So the bear kind of looks around, sniffs the air, and then transforms into a tall Goliath.
Gray-skinned.
Large gray-skinned man.
That would be
Pretty
him.
sure. We haven't seen any Goliaths yet, right?
Skyfist.
Skyfist
Oh,
is
Skyfist is
Goliath.
Goliath.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. I
So
look.
it's Skyfist again.
I look at him and I go, Skyfist?
He looks at you funny. I used to know a Skyfist.
Us too.
Oh,
We did as
so
well.
that's not
Coincidence, so did
Skyfist.
we.
I just get really sad because you're not Skyfist.
Well, were you looking for Skyfist? Because he said you were looking for timber.
Well,
Skyfest is on their own adventures. We're looking for timber.
we might be looking for timber.
No, we're definitely looking for timber.
I'm looking for chickens.
We're looking for timber. Are you him?
Timber axe. Who are you?
Well, that depends. Do you consider Melvin of the Mill to be a friend or a foe?
Oh, the Bramble Buyers? They're good folk. They make lots of ale.
And do these antlers look familiar to you?
Well, of course they do.
Why?
I gave them to Melvin as a gift.
Okay, hi. So we're friends of Melvin.
He smiles and goes, I guess I passed your test.
Yes, sir, you did. I'm Sal.
Well, nice to meet you, Sal. And he reaches down with his gigantic hand.
Oh,
Don't do it, it's
Skyfist
a
never
trap.
let me shake his hand, and I like two-hand, like, oh, wow.
It's a mighty nice hand you got.
And he looks at Tim and says, "You're not a gnome.
I'm a halfling.
I can tell.
Yes.
You so you're not a bramble buyer, and you don't look like you work at the potato farm either.
That's correct.
He's a sailor.
Looks more like a pirate.
Well,
That's what
some
I
might
thought.
say that, but he's definitely not a pirate. So,
Looks are deceiving.
it's true.
Very just.
Never judge a book by its
Very
cover.
what?
We're here because Rickus wants us to find his daughter.
Well, sad tale that is.
So we've heard.
Melvin was telling us a little bit about it. But he said we should see you for protection before we go into the wood.
And by the way, we've killed one of the hags, so we are ready to kill more.
Well, if you've killed one of the hags, you're better than I.
Well, we can use all the help we can get because we definitely almost died.
Well, makes sense. Hags are right nasty.
And we
And
had
there were crap people.
and we had a Goliath with us that she's got home since then.
Was that Skyfist?
It was Skyfish.
Yeah.
Heard good things about Skyfist.
He was one of my first friends.
So Melvin said that you would be able to help us out with wards of protection.
Well, to be honest, I just gave the gnome that necklace to ease his anxiety. He worries all the time.
But surely, as a person who works with the forces of nature and the forest, you must have something that can help us, especially with the Fae.
He scratches his big bald head and goes, "Well, come inside."
Don't mind if we
See,
do.
they did that yesterday. Do we still have to do that?
Yes.
Yes.
But I like outside.
You sit outside and keep watch.
Stay with the
But I
dog.
don't. Fine.
Don't eat it.
But I was already told we need the dog. Stop giving me conflicting messages.
Don't you need the dog.
Just in case. If you eat the dog, we...
You can't eat meat. My meat's poisonous.
Feel free to eat the chicken.
So
he brings you into his, it's a decent sized house. He's a Goliath after all. So it's, it's a small house for him, but it would be for human folk, it would be, big enough for a family of 4.
okay.
So,
Tim, this place must have held your whole town. Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
It's funny because it's true.
and there's a stone fireplace, and there's a large oak table that kind of fills most of the main room. There's a loft above it. You assume that's probably his bedroom up there. And then there's a small area over to the other side that looks like maybe like a prayer room of kind. It's got like curtains that kind of block the door a little bit, but you can still see in there. There's some incense burning in there. Some tomes that are kind of laid out on the floor inside a circle of rocks.
Cool.
I walk in and ask him if he I'm just gonna walk into the space. I get curious and I start poking my head in there.
He says, "Don't go in the circle just yet."
What happens if I do?
Well, you disrupt the spell.
What spell? I start poking a toe toward the edge of the circle.
He says, "Well, it's my ritual spells."
I pull my toe away. What kind of rituals?
I'm looking through a spell list. Hang on a second.
That's fair. Basically, Sal wants to know if he can learn more magic. Because now he feels like when he meets magic people, they should give him spells. And he will barter with them.
So,
This is tree magic.
Ramping up that wild magic chance, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sal is going to live for his wild magic.
where's Nugget at?
Nugget is in my pouch. I imagine I have like a little satchel I'm carrying. I have it almost like you carry a dog in a bag. That's how I'm carrying Nugget. Nugget does not walk if Nugget does not feel like walking.
So Nugget just peeks out.
Yeah. Her head just kind of rests on the edge. She can make little bird noises whenever she wants more food.
He says, "Is that your pet or is that dinner?"
That is my friend. Her name
dinner.
is Nugget.
You're
And
outside.
she might
You don't get a
occasionally make
chance
an
to
egg or
speak.
two.
Oh. He says, "Put your friend in the circle."
You're not gonna hurt her, are you?
Of course not. I would never harm a harmless creature.
I take her and I say, Nugget, I love you. Pop her in the circle.
Right. She disappears.
What the flippity flop? I start readying a spell to attack him.
Softball.
He says, hold on a second. Don't get your, nuggets in a bunch.
I'm gonna punch you with fire, sir.
Is it cooked yet?
He says, she'll be right back.
She better be. And she better be the same. I don't want any pet cemetery nonsense going on here.
He goes, oh, I'm making sure that you'll never lose your friend again.
Okay. Wait, what?
He says, just sit down and we can answer any of your other questions in about 10 minutes. Your chicken will be back.
Okay. I start looking through one of the tomes, flipping through his stuff, poking around, really polite things.
He goes, be careful with my books, please.
Well, I'm wanting to learn more magic. You see, I have magic too, and sometimes things happen when I use magic. But I'm getting more powerful, and I want to be even more powerful. Can you help me with that?
Well, be careful with that.
Why?
Because if you rush your magic, you put yourself at risk.
Let me tell you something about being at risk, sir. I've been at risk my entire life. I was hunted before these fine friends joined my life. And I am okay with risk.
Well, there's plenty of dark forces out there.
No, I'm not dark. Not me. Nope, I'm one of the good ones. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly what Anakin said, too.
Who's Anakin?
So what's happening with the chicken?
And how long have you lived here?
He says, I've lived here a long time.
And my chicken?
Oh, I said 10 minutes. So what do you want to know about the hags?
Cookie Monster waiting for
How many hags are there that you know?
And can you offer us any protection spells? Or just items, or trinkets, or anything to help us? Maybe you can come with us.
You're awful needy today.
I want to live. I don't want to die. And I miss Iron Fist. And, you know, he's kind of the same, but not really.
Maybe let him answer something before we ask him 10 more questions.
That's true. I'm a chicken.
He reaches into a pouch that's on his belt, and he pulls out 4 smooth stones and hands each one of you a stone.
I'm outside.
Well, he hands 2 to Tim. As you're sitting outside, a group of chipmunks come up to you.
Please tell me their names are Alvin, Simon, and Ivar.
One of them is named Alvin. The other one is just the chipmunks.
The chipmunks look rather curious, like they may have seen you before, but then they realize it's not the Dragonborn they're looking for.
Oh.
It's not the Dragonborn you're looking for. Very cute.
Well, remember his last Dragonborn stayed outside the
Oh
town
man, that's sad.
and
That hurts.
hung out with the chipmunks and the squirrels.
Oh, that's right.
So they were hoping you were the paladin, but
So this is a nice stone.
he says it's a luck stone.
Cool.
What does that mean?
He says, well, it's not exactly a good luck stone or a bad luck stone, but it kind of cancels out.
Cancels out luck?
Right. So if things are going well, you don't want to use it. But if things are going bad,
Okay.
So this is like one of those last resort kind of things.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
So basically, if something bad is happening, it'll help smooth out the situation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game mechanic wise, whenever you make a saving throw, once per day you can use the magic in the stone to get a 10.
Okay.
Oh, it's like the boutonniere that I had before. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So it turns a D20 into a D10.
well, it turns like whatever you roll into
To
a
a
10.
10.
Right. So if you roll bad, a 10 is
Yeah.
going to be better than that.
Right.
But
Cool. Thank you.
it'll work on any saving throw against magic.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. It's the best I can do right now. Anything else I can help you with?
The hags, do you know, Melvin talked about one called Granny. Does she lead them, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hags have this matriarchal structure. They usually refer to themselves as sisters, aunties, and grannies.
Okay.
Granny being the leader, aunties being like the lieutenants, and then the sisters are the rest of the. They usually organize themselves into cells. You know, they call them covens. Typically in groups of 3. So there'll be a granny, usually in charge of 3 aunties, and each auntie is in charge of a coven of sisters.
So do you know about how many hags are in the woods?
Well, I mean, if we assume that structure,
Yeah.
then there would be the granny, 3 aunties, and then 9 sisters. So it'd be 13 of them. But you said you killed one.
One that was in a cabin.
There's an old druid cabin.
That's the one.
Please tell me Nancy lives there.
I don't know. I doubt it. The auntie's probably deeper in the forest.
Oh my god, that was when did we have that much trouble? Okay.
Do you have any idea where Helena would have been taken?
He says it all depends on. I mean, I doubt that young lord would have known where to find the granny. Probably just took her to one of the sisters.
What happens if you take out a granny?
Well, grannies have a habit of creating new hags.
So we wouldn't have to worry about more hags, but we'd still have to get rid of the rest of them.
Well, they might all come help her too. Then you'd be fighting 13 hags at once. No good.
He says it's quite disturbing, really. Do you want me to tell you how they make a hag?
I look at Tristan because I'm interested.
Sure, Chuck's like, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the granny hag will swallow a baby.
What?
Oh, so that's why they want the girl, because she's pregnant.
And we already took one of the hags out, so they're definitely going to want to do something. How long does it take?
Well, I don't really know for sure, but they swallow the hag until the baby comes to whatever the hag's version of a term is, and then the granny hag gives birth to the baby again. But at that point, it's destined to be a hag.
That's gross.
That is really gross. I draw all of us.
It's very gross.
Just
Do you have any idea? So you have no idea where she went?
Well, I just stick to the edge of the forest because I don't try to make trouble with the hags. I figure if I made trouble with the hags, well, there's a lot more of them than there is of me, and that would only bring their wrath down on the villagers and the farmers.
We brought Blue, the dog, outside. Supposedly he's familiar with the girl, so hopefully he'll be able to lead us to her.
Well, that makes sense.
I say we get the girl out before we try and take on anything else that we don't have to take on, just so we're not at risk of losing her. Is there anything you can tell us about any of the other creatures that reside in this forest and anything to be aware of?
He says, well, it's not uncommon for hags to trap spirits.
Okay.
In creatures?
Well, they can turn spirits into shadows.
That's what those things must have been. And how do we free them?
Well, I fear at that point it's too late. There's really nothing left of them. It's kind of like just the residue of a soul, the way a zombie's kind of the residue of a body.
We had terrible trouble with these Furby-like bears.
Zorbos.
They were terrible.
Yeah.
So,
Any tips on how to get rid of those?
They don't like fire.
I don't like fire.
Like most furry animals.
Yeah.
Not a fan of fire.
They look nice, and then they tried to eat our friend.
Oh, they're super cute. That's how they survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why the hags like them too. They're deceptive, just like the hags are.
Oh, you got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look like they'll want to cuddle you, and then they'll eat your face.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. Yep. I've seen them do some nasty things.
Yeah.
What about other stuff in this forest?
Well, there's rumors that owlbears patrol deeper in the forest.
Oh.
Oh, my character doesn't know what those are, but I do.
We
Oh
used,
my god.
we used to know an owlbear a long time ago in the city. He was actually awakened. Smart.
Awakened owlbear.
Yeah, he could talk.
That's impressive.
Yeah. He was a good friend.
You know that was your other character.
Yeah. That's why I said it was in the past. You weren't there for that. Were you there for that? Or that's what, yeah, we had an awakened owlbear. He was a magic teacher.
It was so cool. No, I just had to fight them, but I tried to tame one before killing it because I really wanted to own it.
His name was Dr. Barnes.
That is awesome.
The Vivimancer.
Wow.
You seen your chicken yet?
No, yeah, where's my chicken? Has it been 10 minutes yet?
Oh, just one more minute. He points down to the circle, and then there's a puff of blue smoke, and your chicken's back.
She doesn't look any different.
No?
What did you do?
Well, your chicken's bound with a Fey spirit now.
A fae.
A nice one.
I have yet to encounter one of those.
Oh, well, it's a small one too.
And what is it? What does this mean exactly?
Well, it's a familiar now.
Oh my god, I have a chicken familiar. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Nugget is your familiar.
Okay. I never thought I'd have a familiar as a sorcerer.
So he spends like the next 20 minutes teaching you how to cast Find Familiar as a ritual spell.
Okay.
So if anything ever happens to Nugget,
Okay.
you can conjure her back with a 10-minute ritual.
Just got a chicken familiar. Alright.
He says, that hat looks good on you.
Thank you.
You want the armor to go with it? What's that?
Where's the armor?
Gnome-sized druid armor.
I can try it.
He says, obviously I can't fit in it. Plus, when it comes to fighting time, I turn into a bear.
Makes sense. I'd probably do that too if I could.
So, I have a question. With the hag, let's say a chicken just randomly wanders through the forest and happens to show up near where a hag might be. Would the hag recognize that it's a familiar? Can it tell that it's bonded with a Fey spirit?
Well, if it casts detect magic,
Oh, crap. Okay. But we could possibly send Nugget out. Okay.
We could strap a bomb to Nugget.
We are not strapping up. Wait a second. You said I'm bound to my phone. What if something happens to Nugget? Can Nugget die?
well, I mean, technically, what's left of the chicken won't exist anymore. But when you conjure the spirit back, it'll take the form of the same chicken.
Okay. That might be possible.
Chicken bomb. That's great.
Okay.
You could run in and lay the bomb.
I'm going to have to figure out how to enchant this chicken so it doesn't lay eggs, it lays bombs.
Lays fireballs.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Yes. Okay. Well, Thank you very much for this, sir. And I just take Nugget and I hold her close. I'm like, I'll never be without you again.
So he walks over to the side of the fireplace and he knocks on the wall and a little compartment pops out and he reaches in and he pulls out a suit of leather armor and he hands it to you.
Yeah.
Take it. Nice, really nice.
I mean, you can tell as soon as you lay hands on it that it's got some sort of magical property to it. And he says, that belonged to the gnome that used to live in the hut. The druid house used to belong to the gnome that the druid that would patrol this forest before I came here.
I'm sorry he's not here anymore.
Yeah, that's why the spirits of the forest called me here to fill his place.
Have the
I'd
spirits...
say fill his shoes, but you know. I believe he fell victim to the hags.
Well, don't worry. Just because he was wearing that when he fell victim doesn't mean you will too. We'll take care of you. Maybe. So have the spirits of the forest told you anything else?
He says, well, there's been a presence of dark magic around the old elf temple.
Elf temple?
Well, long ago, before humans ever lived here on the coast, this wood belonged to a group of elves, and they had a temple here, temple to Coralon, their god.
Coralon, got it. Would I know this god? Should I make it?
Oh yeah, as a half elf, you wouldn't even have to roll. Coralon's like,
Yeah, okay.
Coralon's the god that created elves.
Cool, I totally know that. Okay.
Coralon got into a fight with Grumsh, god of the orcs. And Grumsh wounded Coralon, and Coralon bled on the ground. And those drops of blood became elves.
That's so cool. I should read that. Okay. Alright.
In return, Coralon poked out Grumsh's eye.
Really?
Yeah, that's the D&D lore.
That's so... Okay. Alright, so...
Or at least the Forgotten Realms lore, I should say.
What do the spirits tell you about this temple? This presence?
Well, there's darkness there, so it stands to reason that that could be one of the locations for one of the sisters.
Okay, well, it's not the granny, but it's a sister. We could at least try.
Goodest place to start is any.
Unless the dog takes us elsewhere, because I'd really love to get that girl and get out of Dodge.
That is the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
He says the old elf temple's about 10 miles northwest.
Well, I think we're going to take the dog and try to go find the girl. If you hear us yelling, come help.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Alright, let's go.
After talking to him, you kind of get the idea that he's probably about the same level you guys are. He's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Newish type druid.
Well, I mean, third level's impressive. You know.
As if, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, you figure 90% or more of the population are just commoners.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
And
But we're going to be so much better than that, so like...
And a commoner is challenge rating 1/8.
Sal is just drunk for power.
Right? I'm telling you, you're gone for 1 week and he is just down a dark
Sal
path.
is gone. Alright, so we say our goodbyes and grab the dog,
Yeah.
which hopefully you have not eaten while we were inside.
I've pet the dog.
Blue, you're still alive.
Yay!
The quest can go on.
I
You
pet
make
her
friends with the
again.
chipmunks?
No. They were confused.
That's a shame. You should have done it anyway.
They were.
Whenever I sneezed, lightning came out and they ran away.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so your suit of leather armor is +1 magic armor.
Nice.
Oh, +1 to your AC. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else in this?
Do you already wear leather armor?
I can replace it.
What's that?
I can replace it with it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say if that's what you're already wearing, which I think is what you started with, you're now so you can add 1 to your armor class.
Nice.
And you got a cool hat with antlers on it.
Yes, I do.
And now you don't look like a pirate; you look like a druid.
Now you are the envy of all.
It's the perfect disguise.
Unless you want to put your vest and your sash back on.
You look like a druid pirate.
I just always imagine
That
you
would
wear a
be
vest
cool.
and a sash. That's what says pirate to me, I guess.
We'll wait until I feel like it.
All right, so next.
Blue, find a girl, Blue.
All right, so you just let the dog go in the woods and
Well, I mean, we don't want it to disappear on us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, assuming it goes at a reasonable pace.
yeah, it's a hound dog.
Yeah.
It knows its job.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So it heads off into the woods and it starts heading pretty much due north until it comes to there's a small creek it comes to that veers off kind of northwest, and then it starts to follow that creek.
I'm just gonna keep blindly following the dog.
Yeah.
The dog travels for most of the day. So it's because you guys started at first light,
Right.
So Rooster woke you up. You were probably only at Timber's house for maybe half an hour. So it's so it's around like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening when Blue comes up on what looks like some standing stones in a clearing. There's 7 stones that just kind of jut up out of the earth, kind of Stonehenge-like. And in the center is what looks like a small shrine. Probably like a 10 by 10 foot stone building.
Is there anything on the stones? Do I see any writing or anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we make a perception check? I want to see if we can see anything around here.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to see what's on it from the tree line, make a perception check. I mean, if you walk up on it, you can just look at it.
I don't want to walk too close to it yet.
15. 15?
Perception 15.
So there appears to be some sort of elvish writing in the circle, and then there's like large claw marks, kind of making like an X.
Okay. So none of
So
it's
is this the Elven Tempo that we think that what's his name was talking about? Timber was talking about?
Good chance.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we're going in.
Ned, you go first.
You
I
think,
say,
Tim, you
can
want
I
to go
go
in with
first?
Ned?
Because I'm kind of just sitting around.
Might as
so-
well.
You want to go in front of Ned?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have dark vision?
No.
Oh boy.
I think I have a torch. Yeah, I have a torch though.
Well, it's still light out.
Yeah, but if we're going into this place,
It's a 10 by 10 room, is that right?
From the outside, yeah, that's what it looks like. It's a 10 by 10 room.
yeah, I feel like it's not going to be.
You think it's like a TARDIS? It's bigger on the inside?
I think
or-
it's going to go down and bigger up. I think that's what's
Well, I
gonna
can cast light if that's no problem. If we
Okay.
get to that point.
I was gonna say I have yeah, I have stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's go in.
So
Yay.
you approach the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you can read the Elvish writing,
Okay.
and it essentially says, here is the honor Corlon, and ye shall enter.
And what's scratched out? Or there's just an X in the stone? Or
There's just like claw marks.
in the stone?
Yeah, I mean, as a cleric, you would know that there was probably some sort of like defiling ritual that was done to, to corrupt any blessing that was here.
Looks like hags.
Is there any way we can restore the blessing on this temple?
Probably not at this time. Not until we clear out whatever is in there, I would assume.
Yeah, there's a good chance that whoever defiled the temple needs to be
Cleared out first. Yeah.
I want to make an investigation check as we're going in, just to see if there's anything I can see as far as traps or anything that's going to alert the hag to our presence.
Sure.
20?
Yeah. So as the Dragonborn is kind of marching up to the door, you notice that there's real faint below the circle that is the Elvish writing. There's another circle that some sort of arcane mark that's written in a different language.
Can I try to identify the language?
What language do you speak?
That's a good question. Common, Elvish, Draconic, Orcish.
Okay. It's close enough to Elvish that you would recognize it as Sylvan. You wouldn't be able to read it, but you would recognize the letters as Sylvan, which is basically like Old Elvish.
Is there anything that would indicate whether, like, what, maybe not necessarily what it says, but give me a sense of, like...
Oh, it's probably an arcane trap, like some sort of...
Cool, guys, there's definitely a trap here, and I'm not 100% sure how to defuse this.
So
Any thoughts?
So you're headed to the door because you were going to go in first.
Yeah.
She says that there looks like there could be a trap on the door. Or Sal said that.
But there isn't any way to stop it, then let's just keep going.
I don't know if that's a good idea. We should probably try first.
Throw the chicken!
But it's not my chicken.
I throw the chicken.
You throw the chicken?
I say, Nugget, help us. And I like kiss her on the top of the head and throw her forward like she's gonna magically solve all of our problems.
I really didn't think that was going to happen. This is awesome.
This is taking
I
a
picture
turn.
her fluttering like a dove, but she can't fly, so she just flaps gracefully to the ground.
Mouth comes over and just...
Yeah, she does her best to fly enough that she doesn't like drop on the ground. But you toss her in the direction of the door so that she kind of grazes the door as she lands on the ground. About the time her feet touch the ground, where she grazed the door right by that mark, it explodes into lightning. And so you don't have a chicken right now.
Thanks a lot, Tristan.
It's better than me.
Oh, my poor
That's
Nugget.
what my pillow looks like after I sleep on it.
Oh. Do we smell fried chicken?
Yeah.
I am very hungry. I am very hungry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Watchers. I'm sorry.
Great.
Well, little chicken nugget, you served us well. Alright,
Can we tell, does it look like this ritual is burnt out, or this could be a more than a one-time event?
Let's get going.
and through our observation, is there any way to undo it if it is?
I mean, you can make an Arcana check.
Oh, well,
No, go for it.
Aren't you proficient in Arcana?
Not really. A little bit. Just a 13.
Yeah, it's been discharged. So.
Okay. Well,
Thanks, Nugget. Please, the chicken's coming back.
I know, but still. Poor chicken. It's our first adventure together.
It was the chicken or the dog?
I imagine this is gonna happen with Nugget.
Yeah. I don't know how Nugget's gonna like meet my familiar. But that's okay. Alright.
This hole we can't see down. Nugget.
Nugget shows up and be
Onward.
like... Alright. So I walk inside.
All right.
Let's keep walking forward.
Is it dark?
It is dark.
I cast light.
Okay. All right. So the Dragonborn and the
Dark? Yeah, no.
the Dragonborn and the cleric walk in, and there's a broken altar. It's like a stone altar that's been basically broken in half, so that the two halves are lying there on the floor. And where the altar is broken, you can see where a secret, what would have been a secret passage if it was closed. Now the door is just broken off, and there's a stairwell that goes straight down.
What did I tell you? Stairs going down.
Ned.
Stop trying to push him down. I'll go.
Okay, I'm planning on going down there.
I'll
so-
go with him.
I'm gonna make another investigation check really quick to make sure there's not another trap going down these stairs.
All right.
It's a 10.
You're convinced it's safe.
Okay, march onward, my friend.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Your Dragonborn on the stairs.
I said I was going, not Ned.
Ned's going too.
I am at the back of this line.
I hate this.
All right, so you get to the bottom of the stairs, and there's a hallway. It goes left and right. There's a door at each end of the hallway.
I'm not good at finding things left or right.
What's the dog say since he's with you?
Oh.
What's the dog point?
I don't
Which way,
speak
Blue?
dog.
Which way, Blue? Find a clue.
Which way's the scent going?
Well, Blue looks really scared right now.
You can do it, buddy.
The dog is scared. I don't think it's good at telling
Well,
directions.
after watching what just happened in Nugget, I'm pretty sure
The navigator has soiled.
Yell at Blue. You saw what happened to Nugget? If you can't find anything, you're next.
Don't you dare!
Tristan's a little bit chaotic.
Man up. Sniff it out.
No, I'm gonna pet Blue and reassure her it's gonna be okay. She can hang out with me now at the back of the line.
It's not going to be okay.
We can leave her, like, maybe at the entrance.
That's not a good idea.
Well, I mean, you know, she's scared and she doesn't want to sniff around.
The
Okay,
dog can
clearly
go
this
home,
is not
I
a
guess.
popular idea, so Sal's just gonna drop it. Let's march forward, pick a direction and go.
The barbarian makes a good point. Blue would be able to find her way home.
Without getting killed in the forest? Yeah.
Yeah, but
The last thing we need to do is tell the
question
girl
is,
we killed the
will
dog.
we?
Yeah.
Will we make it back without Blue?
I do not want to have to do a side quest where we have to get a new dog.
Get the dog to make it to Timbers.
Ned speaks up and says, "I'll take the dog back to Timbers."
Yeah, that's not happening.
Ned, we should do that. We should let Ned do that. In fact, no, wait, no. Because what if Ned gets taken? Then we have to save another person. No, Ned, that was a terrible idea. You
Chuck-
stay with us.
Chuck says, "I'll take Ned and the dog back to the brewery."
No. You earn your way.
Yahtzee.
How about if we tie the dog here at the stairs?
Could that be slavery?
All in favor of tying the dog here at the stairs?
I don't agree with tying dogs to things.
Ned says, "I'll stay with the dog and protect the dog."
You lie, Ned.
No, I'm serious. I don't want to upset you guys.
Ned has proven himself. He could have left before and he didn't. But I think that
Our boy, there's no way Ned would risk his life on this.
I mean, Ned's not as tough as Chuck.
That's true.
Ned, this dog has to live. You must keep her safe.
Well, I plan on staying alive.
Dog well
The
better.
dog.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't plan on getting dead. I won't let the dog
If you're
get
not,
dead.
I'm reviving you and killing you myself.
Well, I wouldn't do that. Worst case scenario, me and the dog are gonna run back to that druid, or well, I kind of like Chuck's idea, the brewery.
Maybe don't do that until we get back.
Well, we'll stay here, but if things get bad,
Understandable.
I'll get the dog to safety.
All I hear in my mind is Don't trust Ned.
Just remember the word that rhymes with Ned. If you don't want to end up that way, do not cross us.
All right.
Told you they were in a weird bunch then.
So we can leave Ned behind.
All right. So Ned and Blue are gonna stay at the stairs. Which way are you going?
I'm still asking. I don't know which way is right.
Pick away. You
All right,
wanted to go first.
Just go right. Just go right.
Left.
All right. So you
That's
go.
not right.
So you go down the longer part of the hallway. There's a door there, of course.
I said left, so you made
Your
me go
left or
right.
Oh,
my
you're right.
DM left or
DM left or character left.
No character left.
All right. Well, you stand in front of a door. It's a heavy wooden door. Good elven craftsmanship.
I'm in front of a door.
does it open?
I don't know. So let me check. Can I open the door?
You certainly can open the door.
Okay, let me just open the door then.
It creaks open.
Okay, the door's open.
I don't like it.
Oh, this is going to be a long dungeon.
Can I see in the room or is it still dark?
What do you have light cast on? Did you?
It has to be on something.
The walls.
On the walls.
Make it easy.
I wanted to see, so I would imagine I cast it on
I can
whatever I was
cast
holding.
dancing lights.
Well, I can walk down there. We're not that far, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's fine.
All right.
we
So
go.
you have light cast on something that you're holding.
Yeah.
Okay.
60 feet of range.
All right. So the light comes in over the Dragonborn's shoulder, lights up the room, which looks like it used to be a lush sitting room, fancy plush couches and chairs, but now it's kind of draped with the bones of animals that have been strung into what's the word for it? Drawing a blank.
Wreath? No, that's strong.
Like garland.
Oh, jeez.
A
Okay.
rope of bones.
Yeah, so there's like these just like this garland like strands of bone, like small animal bones.
Wow.
Looks like my grandpa's
special
living
type
room.
of decorating.
It's just kind of draped all over the furniture.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, is there
All right,
like
buddy,
any...
you wanted to go first.
Okay, sounds good.
Can we go up to stuff like that? Can you check to feel? Is it possible to check to feel like energy's coming off, like make an Arcana check when you're near it?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
Okay, when I get near it, I'll do that.
All right, so you enter the room. There's a door straight across, and there's one to your right, and then this kind of the stench of this stale air and like damp musk.
Is there anything else to investigate in this room or to look at? Or
I mean, you can investigate the different pieces of furniture if you wanted to.
As he's investigating, I'm going to come down and I'm going to look right down the hallway and just go to toward the other door.
16.
So on one of the large plush chairs, one that's kind of sitting like here, looks like a rather fancy looking leather book.
I read it.
All right, give me a saving throw.
Oh, I knew it.
Mimic.
Nat 20.
All right. When you open the book, a gout of flame shoots up and tries to burn your face off.
But hey, I think this is yours.
You made your save, so you only take half damage.
Yep.
So you take 7 damage.
Something got extra bright in here. What's going on?
Yeah. I think this book belongs to you. Don't open it.
Now you're just making me interested.
It breathes fire.
But I breathe lightning.
I know. It's like your cousin's book. Wait a second. If I hold on to this book, if I open it this way, does it breathe fire or
I
somebody
was
else?
just going to ask that.
I don't know. You want to try to investigate the book further?
Sure.
Do it. Do it.
11.
11. You're pretty sure that it was a glyph similar to the one that was on the door up top.
This book is spent.
Dang.
So the one was designed that anything touches the door, it would go off.
Yeah.
This would go off for anybody who opens the book.
So I
Don't
saw
touch
that there,
anything in this place.
I saw that there was another door at the end of the hallway in the other direction. Do we want to check that out? Because I see 2 more doors in this room.
In addition, one thing I forgot. In addition to the door in this room, there's a like a bronze hatch on the wall. It's on this wall here.
Okay.
I'm gonna touch it.
You're gonna touch it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
It's weighted, so as soon as you put your hand on the handle, the hatch opens downward.
Oh,
Launch
I
your
opened
shoe.
something.
Can you fit inside?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it big enough for, say, like
A chicken?
a small kind of person to fit into?
You're gonna stop staring at me, right?
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, good. I have a good one of those. Nat 20.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, you resist the urge to vomit as a very foul stench pours out of this hatch.
Close the
Yep,
hatch.
definitely
Close
like
the
Grandpa's living room.
Close it.
hatch. What? So, cool. I don't ever want to open that hatch again. Maybe drop the book down there. Actually, now that the glyph is spent, what's in the book?
This is the book. Is it anything, or is it?
Yeah, the book is a story about 2 children who go into the woods and find a house made of candy.
What are their names?
Hansel and Gretel.
Wow, never heard that one before.
Hansel?
Hansel?
Except if you skip to the end of the story, in this version, the witch wins. Not only does she eat Hansel and Gretel, but the whole rest of the village too.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel were really in on it the whole time.
I still can't read this.
Are there any
So
pictures?
Chuck is like hearing what you're saying. He's like, do you want to check out this other room first, or what do you want to do?
I'm just wondering if it would be nice if maybe this girl was in one of these first 2 rooms and then we didn't have to go further. Maybe. I mean, I don't know how many doors are in that other room.
That's how it always works out for us. But okay.
Just go.
So I guess I'll walk up to this door, or Chuck can go in front, and I tell him, listen through the door first before you try to open it, and then I investigate to see if there's any traps on the door itself. 14.
Yeah. So again, there's another one of those glyphs on the door.
Chuck's like, yeah, this is all you.
So,
You're magic-y. I'm not.
All right. I asked Tristan to hand me the book, and then I'm going to throw the book at the door.
Okay.
See if
Okay.
anything happens.
Tristan will do that.
So do you throw the book at the door from where you're standing?
No, I'm going to yeah.
All right, you back up.
Yeah, how far can I throw something? Because I want to be, maybe the other end of the hallway if possible.
Yeah.
So pretty far back. Yeah, that's good. That's great.
So you're about 10 feet away. You lob the book at the door. You give me a dex check. Oh boy.
It's a 10.
It's a door. It's not moving.
That's fair. Okay.
So you pound the book against the door, and the door flings open, and 3 daggers come flying out.
Did you catch it with a book?
Lovely. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. No, I threw the book.
Yeah. You throw it like a girl.
Well,
What's
Throw
your
it
armor?
like your girlfriend.
What's your armor class?
my AC is 10.
All right. So you take 3 damage from each of the daggers. 2 of them hit you.
Okay.
So that's 6 now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, I don't like this place.
Oh, I don't like that.
And a cloaked figure charges out and tries to
This
stab
kind
you.
of feels
Awesome.
like childhood.
She misses,
Good.
and
Great.
you notice that there's 3 more who are kind of peeking their heads out of the door here. They're the ones that threw the daggers.
I say, Chuck, this is why you were supposed to go.
Chuck's like, oh yeah, let's go down the other end of the hall and open the door.
All right, roll
Dad,
initiative.
why are you fighting?
18 for Tristan, 8 for Chick.
16.
14. All right, so everybody but Chuck goes before the cloaked figures.
Alright.
So who's first? Me?
Yeah.
Let me see. So I'm all the way over here, right? So there's nothing happening here yet?
Yep, there's nothing happening over there.
There's all these people in between. Well, I will just ready in action in case somebody shows up in this room.
All right, so you're ready in action to attack anything that comes through the door?
Yeah.
All right. And that was 16?
18.
18. Who had the 16? All right, you're up.
I had a 17.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Alright.
You're in front.
Blast them out.
Yeah, this is a great place for me to be.
Remember, you're at disadvantage if you roll a ranged attack.
I know.
But area effect spell or something that always hits, like a magic missile.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking. I'm looking to see. Alright, magic missile is gonna be.
I'm gonna get a drink. You want one?
Sure.
Alright, so I'm gonna do. See if I'm D4. I'm going to aim all 3 of my magic missiles at the person in front of me and tell them to get back or get burned.
It'd be metal if you just grabbed him by the face.
I really would love to, but like, then I feel as though she's gonna cut off my arm. Like, that would be my luck.
That's a good point.
So you say get back or you get burned and you...
Yeah, and then I magic missile her.
Alright.
For 11 damage.
Alright, so... Obviously you hit, you strike her with these 3 bolts of force energy.
Yeah.
And she staggers back and her face falls off.
Okay.
Like her actual face, not
like,
a mask that looks like her face, right?
Yeah, it lands on the floor in front of you, and it was a mask that looks like a human face.
And is there anything under there?
It looks like a bunch of worms.
Oh my god.
So like it's just this like humanoid collection of
So nightmares.
humanoid shaped collection of worms.
He gone.
Alright. So
Chased it from the table?
The person who was a person is not a person but worms.
I hit my attacker in the face and her face fell off.
And worms.
And worms.
Sounds very
So,
aggy.
so it sounds like Pink Floyd all over again.
So
That's not gonna help me sleep tonight. I gotta go out of town tomorrow.
I am going to attempt to step back around the corner anyway, even though I know she's going to get an opportunity attack. Because I'm the only thing for them to aim at right now, and I will die.
Alright, well those worm-like humanoid creature, or this pile of worms in the shape of a humanoid creature, swings its sword and misses you as you step back into the stairwell.
Alright. Chuck, have at thee.
Chuck goes last.
God damn.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, my friend.
I'm not getting near that. I'm just gonna shoot it with a bow.
Shoot it with
Chuck's
the bow.
like, I'm glad your chicken bit it.
You hit.
Oh, next time I'm pushing you face first to the door, sucker. On that note, I'm gonna go eat my feelings.
Oh, that works. 9. 9 total.
9 total damage? Alright, the worm-like creature kind of staggers back as you stick an arrow into it, and then its body kind of readjusts underneath the clothing, and the arrow falls out. You're sure you did damage. It just, kind of spit your arrow back out at you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have real trouble sleeping tonight.
And you're up.
Every time I close my eyes,
Can I get past all the people in the?
Yeah, you can move through friendly squares. So
Okay.
They didn't go?
They go after.
Oh.
The only one that goes after them is Chuck.
First, rage. Second, how can I get close to at least one of them?
Yeah, you can run right up here.
Yep.
Boop.
Oh, that's one of them. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Swing with them all. That's gonna be a 22.
You hit.
Let's see. 2, so 5 plus 3 plus 1. No, plus 2. 5 plus 10 damage.
All right, so you slice this thing right in half. Its clothes fall to the floor like a pile of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And worms just splatter all over the walls.
Oh.
Alright, you still have 15 more movement if you want to keep charging.
Yeah. I'll move up closer to one of them.
Alright, to here or?
He got rid.
Yeah.
What?
He got rid of the first one.
All right. Dragon power all the way.
Yeah, he just kind of Darth Mauled him.
Okay.
Well, it's a hammer, so it's just a big hammer.
Yeah, so you just kind of splattered it.
Like a bug.
So you swing through, the clothes fall like a pile of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you just step through, and then the worms kind of gather back together, and it rises back up behind you.
Oh, I like this.
Alright. So the three in the doorway stay put. They each draw another dagger and they hurl it at you. Let's see. 15 hit you?
Yes.
Alright, so all three of the daggers hit you, so that's 9 damage from the daggers.
But that's half, so that's like...
Yeah, so it's actually... Each one did 3 damage, you take half of 3, which would be 1, because you round down. So you only take 3 damage from each of those hits. 3 damage total. The Dragonborn pounds his chest, and then the mass of worms that gathered up and took shape behind you picks up its sword and tries to stab at you.
Okay.
And it misses.
Misses that badly.
It's Chuck's turn. Chuck has a worm creature in front of it.
So it's facing away. So does Chuck have advantage, or?
Chuck would get a +2 to hit because it's got flanking.
But he can't shoot his crossbow, so I guess he'll take out his scimitar.
All right.
Chuck is no good with his sword.
Either that or Chuck's really scared.
Yeah, that could be. Chuck whiffs.
All right. We're back to the top of the order.
Which is Tristan, right?
Yep.
Tristan casts Shatter right here.
All right.
Yep. That works, right?
Mm-hmm. It's probably more like casting it on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you'd be able to see the floor from all the way back here.
Yeah, but I'm saying so it's up there, so it hits all 3 of them.
Yeah, so you
Misses him.
You look down the hallway over everybody's head. You can see the ceiling in that room. Boom. Big
Constitution save.
thunderous strike. So 2 of them save. So these 2 are going to take half damage. That one takes full damage.
Six, 7 is 13, and 4 is 17.
17?
Yep.
Alright. So worms kind of scatter all over the place as these things kind of break apart, and they do their best to kind of wiggle back together and reshape as best they can. They don't look as big as they used to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so you definitely wounded them.
That's what I do.
And Sal is up.
Now, am I technically within range for it to attack me if I step back before I hit the one near me? Because I went around a corner, so I didn't know. Like, once it reformed, I didn't think about the fact that it might. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just put you there. You never really said how far up the stairs you went, so.
Okay. I mean,
you could be further back.
Is that far enough for me to attack it with fire?
Yeah. You can shoot it from there.
Then that's what I'd like to do. I'm going to use Chromatic Orb. And I'm going to use fire damage. $22 to hit.
Alright, you conjure a big old silver orb and fire it at the creature. It bursts into flame when it strikes it, and there's the smell of burnt worms everywhere as the thing smolders.
So does it just disappear?
Yeah, you just
It's gone?
yeah, just incinerated it.
I was a lot. Okay, fire seems to work really well on these things.
You got one.
I got one. In fact, I didn't even have to do damage amount. It was that good. It's just gone. Spell slot used.
You're up.
Do what I did last time. Just,
Kill it with fire.
I don't have fire. Well, I gotta shoot it with a bow.
Light your arrow on fire.
That
Can I
never
do that?
works.
I mean, it would take you a turn to light a torch.
I don't have torches.
Oh.
Trust me, light fire arrows never work.
That's a 23 to hit.
Alright. So, you crouch down beside Chuck, fire your arrow through the dragon's legs.
That's a 5 total.
And you hit the door frame.
That was what you rolled a d20? Got a 5?
I thought you already rolled the hit.
Yeah. It was
Oh, that 5 was damage. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So the arrow flies between his legs, hits the creature in its leg, and makes it kind of stumble and shamble a little more than it was already shambling. And the Dragonborn is up.
Alrighty. Sure. 10 feet in every direction. So that the first one, all of those things are technically no. Just the front one, the one in the middle, is 10 feet from me. Is he not?
Right. If you took a step forward, they would all be within your range.
Then let's just move up one to get up close.
Right.
And since he was already in, the first one was already in range, they need to be rolling a dex save
Oh, gotcha.
because of my storm aura.
All right. Is the beginning of your turn they're affected by your storm aura?
Whenever I put on rage, that pops on as like a effect.
Okay. So you're like oozing lightning damage, right?
Yes,
Alright.
I emanate it when I rage.
Well, all three of them save. Do they take half damage if they save?
Let me see. Half.
Okay. How much damage is it?
3.
All right. So they each take 1 point of lightning damage,
Yeah.
and that's just automatic. So you still get your
Yeah,
attack.
it's automatic. And gonna use the maul again. No, that's an 11.
11 hits.
Okay, awesome.
Like I said, they shamble. They don't move very fast.
That is. That'd be 12.
Alright, so this one you smash with your maul too, and once again it turns into a puddle of clothes and worms. And it's their turn, right?
Yep.
Alright, so this one stands back up. And all three of them try to stab at you with their swords.
Great. Just like. Actually, I don't know what their looks like. Great.
So two of them hit you. So that is 6 and 4. So you take
5 damage each.
5 total damage, yes.
Oh, 5 total. Okay. That's not enough to stop me, mostly because I'm weak.
And Chuck's turn.
Chuck can shoot a crossbow now, right?
Yeah, they got cover because you got a big dragonborn in the way, but yeah.
20.
Alright, it sails right over the dragonborn's shoulder and hits the thing in the what would be its face if it had one.
9.
Alright, so once again this one drops into a pile of worms.
That's it.
Yep,
That's it for Chuck. So it's Tristan's turn.
it is Tristan's turn.
Tristan casts Sacred Flame. This one.
Yeah, get him.
It's just a deck save.
Alright. It makes it actually.
Ooh. Yeah. Nothing.
You try to call fire down from your god of the sea, but the darkness of this place, the defiling forces prevent your magic from having as much effect as it would.
Tristan, pray harder. Alright, well in that case, I'm gonna peek around the corner. And then I guess look down the hall a little bit. Try and shoot a firebolt at one of the creatures down there.
Alright, you can
Wait,
see.
is that? That's our halfling, right? Yeah.
This is the
One of
halfling.
them's gone. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So you kind of got line of sight to this one. He's got lots of cover between the. Alright, go for it.
Roll
See if you can
high.
Thread the needle between the dragonborn and the door frame.
I'm not gonna waste my reroll. It's a 14 to hit.
That actually hits.
Oh, okay. Cool, it's a 10. Oh my god. That is 1 damage. But it's fire damage to that one creature.
All right, so you wound the pile of worms. Its clothing kind of smolders a bit.
Alright.
Tristan's like, talk smack, huh?
Yeah, well, at least I did something.
All right, Tim's up. Tim, the halfling rogue, who's dressed like a druid now, in his clever disguise to not give away the fact that he's really a pirate.
Yeah, that works. I'll just walk up to right up behind the Dragonborn and just shoot again.
All right, you're gonna fire off your bow.
I really don't want to get up to those things. Oh, that's not 20.
Yeah, 20.
Yes.
Nice. All right, and you're also doing your sneak attack damage too, so that's 2d6 twice. So 46 total.
All right. Colorful dice.
24.
I wish. 14.
14. All right. So this one shatters into a pile of worms
Good.
Yeah.
and slightly singed clothing. And that one stays down.
One left.
Let's see. This one's going to disengage, and you hear the sound of metal clank and clank again, and it seems to have disappeared.
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
There's another brass hatch in this room.
Let's see. Oh, that's a 13.
That's 14 actually.
It just starts rumbling.
Alright, so you poke your head in the door just enough time to see that it is one of those bronze hatches. It like opened up the hatch and dove down in the hole.
Gross, grossity, gross. Well, I do not feel compelled to chase that. What's in the room?
Chase it.
The room appears to be like a storage room. There's shelves and barrels.
Any barrels of ale?
There are barrels of ale.
Chuck, have at it.
Chuck's like, have you seen what's around here? What's the chances that ale's any good?
Fair enough.
There's also sacks of potatoes, and then a variety of other produce that looks like it's all stolen from the local farms.
I like to search the shelves.
You search the shelves?
Yeah.
Again, it's more food, produce.
I'm going in the hatch. See y'all.
You're going in the hatch?
No, you don't fit.
Really?
No, don't go.
Alright, give me a dexterity check. You're kind of big to fit through the hatch, but
I'm gonna try and grab him and pull him
it's also
away.
very dark in there.
No, that's a 5.
Okay, so he gets kind of stuck.
Good, serves you right.
Dang it.
How's the new cone on your head?
You can try to wiggle. I mean, you could get through if you wanted to
No,
take
I'm
some
gonna try
time
and
and-
pull him back.
Yes.
You want to keep going?
Yes.
All right. It's really dark in there.
I have a torch.
All right, you light a torch?
Yep.
All right.
This is the second time your character is gonna die.
So Sal is like trying to get you to stop. You're busy trying to light a torch. You're looking at the shelves still.
Yeah, you can search the room while I try to keep this idiot from falling down and dying.
Please do.
There's also a variety of different fruits and vegetables, all that look like they're rotten. That doesn't help the smell of this place.
Yuck.
Hence the worms.
Probably the only thing in here that's not rotten is the ale because it's alcohol. But everything in here seems spoiled, nasty.
The chop's too good for that.
Alright, you got your torch lit. You can see in the hole now.
Yes.
Well, you look down and there appears to be a pit in the center of a cavern. And you can see the stonework corners of other rooms. And it looks like each of these rooms also has a hatch. Even with your intelligence, you can figure out that these are garbage chutes.
Wait, did he fall down, or did he just...
He lit his torch and he's still trying to squeeze his body through there. And in the center of this cavern is a pit. It looks like it's just full of refuse.
Do not go in the pit.
Go in the pit. Okay.
No, do not go in the pit.
Oh, get dealt.
No pit.
Give me another Constitution check.
Oh, all right.
The stench is still really foul. You give me one too, because you're close enough to the.
Oh, that's a 19.
All right, you're good.
Still like Grandpa's.
So the room I'm in, is there any like broken wood or anything like that? Pieces,
16.
anything?
All right, so you're good too. You're not. You fight back the urge to vomit from this horrible stench that's coming out of that pit.
Is there anything I
I
can
will
use to
throw up
wedge
on
the
you.
hatch shut in my room?
What's that?
Is there anything around that I can use to wedge that
I
hatch
hope
shut
you
in my
grow
room?
up into a good
I
adult.
mean, if you break a leg off of one of the chairs,
Yeah. So once we pull out, break something and wedge your hatch shut.
Okay.
I did it in this other room.
Okay. Alright, get out and let's go. We'll find another way to your disgusting garbage.
It's not the garbage. I'm going after Worm Man or something.
We'll find more, trust me.
I'm not trying to find more. I'm just trying to make sure we don't have more problems.
Not possible. Let's go. Get out.
I don't want to get out. Besides, I found tunnels.
Get
all right.
out.
So you're looking down in the pit with your torch, or looking down at the pit with your torch.
Looking kind of down, I guess.
Are you still trying to climb in there?
Yeah.
All right, give me a dexterity check.
Oh, Lord.
No.
All right. You're still too big to. You're having trouble squeezing it through.
Can I try to roll to pull him out?
A halfling pulled out a dragonborn? I'm gonna roll like a 20.
Give me a strength check.
I'm gonna try and help you with this.
All right, roll with advantage then.
Oh yeah, you roll.
I don't know what those look like.
No.
Not great.
What'd you roll?
3 and an 8.
Do you have a plus to your strength?
No.
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 All right, beat an 8.
Beat an 8.
Beat an 8.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, so
Okay.
you can't pull him out. About that time, you're still trying to squeeze into this hole and go after the worm man. A big tentacle reaches up from the pit and tries to grab you through the trash hole.
Oh my god, if this thing takes you,
It's not going to be able to take me out. I can't even get through here.
Give me a strength check.
No, not the other one.
How did that even? Oh my god.
How is this happening?
You want one of mine?
No, I got a bunch. It's slipped out of my
Where
hand.
did that go?
Down
it is.
in-
It like teleported. Oh my
There's
god.
two more. There's
Yeah.
one more down there.
Oh,
It's a
that's the one I see.
D12.
What do you mean there's
Yeah, another D12 fell down
Just
there.
in a bitch on the table.
That's the other one I see right now.
Okay.
But,
That's gonna be an 18.
All right. So this big tentacle reaches up and tries to grab you. You're able to break away from it.
Well,
but
it's more I'm stuck rather than it can
ooh,
grab.
I know what that is.
so there's a,
Something's trying to grab me, but it doesn't understand tight spaces.
If it tries to grab you, I'm letting it eat you. So stop struggling and come out, and we'll go kill it together.
Do you know what this is?
Well, actually, I'm pretty sure that I do, but my character doesn't.
No, yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah. So this big like you can see it.
No.
Large mouthed creature with claw-like teeth and 3 big tentacles. One of the tentacles is staring at you. It has 3 eyeballs on it, and then the other 2 tentacles have these kind of like spikes at the end of them, and that's what it's trying to grab you with.
So the last campaign I was in where we had to deal with one of these, we had a character who befriended it.
I was in that with you.
What?
We were in that together. The tiefling. Or you had one where you befriended it too?
Yeah.
We had one, yeah, where they became friends also.
Yeah, it wasn't a tiefling. It was not a goblin. It might have been a goblin. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
We had the same thing.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, the one in
The
the
book.
last campaign, it had eaten all of the necromancy books because they were bound in human flesh.
And it got a bone caught, so we pulled out the bone in its mouth.
It had an abscess tooth from where it got.
Wait, maybe that was our campaign. Yeah, I thought that was the other. Yeah.
That's there.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the first time you played with us, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was like the next week you got bumped to the other table.
Yes,
We
that's
never saw
exactly
you for a
what it
while.
was. Yeah. Holy crap. Okay, that's why I know what this is then. Yeah, we've been there. Real truth.
Alright. So now that you see this thing, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna try to get out, but I'm kind of stuck. No, I can't get out.
So you're in.
I'm stuck.
I'm gonna leave you there, Pooh Bear.
Alright, so at this point you're trying to get back into the room, right?
I'm trying to get back in the room because apparently this thing.
Well, roll again because you have advantage because they're all trying to pull you back into the room. So now that you changed direction.
Now I can get back.
Alright, you are safely in the room.
Oh, it's about time.
Break something off and stab that hatch shut.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. An octopus is down there, I think.
An octopus.
Yes.
Okay, here's the rule.
You
Avoid the
are-
place that
you are
smells
drunk
bad
out of your
and we
mind.
don't have to fight the weird creepy monster.
All I saw was tentacles, so that's only.
So which way? Where do you want to go?
Well, I guess we'll go back and then we can eeny, meeny, miny, mow the doors. That's fine. How about Tristan or Chuck chooses? How about that? What does your god tell you, Tristan?
It says Chuck wants to go this way.
I'll take it.
Chuck see anything on
What
this
a
door?
nice conversation piece. Where's God telling you to go?
Yeah.
Make a
Come on,
check.
Mr. Smarty Pants. What did your God tell you?
I mean, what does Chuck have for? I don't even know what Chuck has for investigation. He rolled a 10, so
Okay, so Chuck is pretty confident that there's not any magical traps on this door.
Bye, Chuck.
Chuck opens it.
He opens the door and there's a long hallway, dark and dusty and dank.
I'm following suit.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes, Tristan, bring your light, which Tristan casts light on Chuck's spell, so Chuck can go forward. You coming?
Yeah, I'm going.
Might as well.
Grandpa's bedroom kind of sometimes be bad.
Stop talking about your grandpa's bedroom.
Chuck rolls a 12 to look at this door.
There does not appear to be anything on this door either.
Chuck opens the door.
Alright, he just opens the door and walks in?
Yeah,
Okay.
with Tristan.
I am staying in that hallway.
Alright, well, as you walk into this room, it's almost like the room swallows up your light spell.
Not good.
You are now in magical
Well,
darkness.
darkness. It's very dark in here.
Alright, so I have a question. If I was to stand at the threshold of that darkness, stick my hand in and wave it around, could I potentially hit one of them and pull them out?
It's very possible.
I'm going to attempt to do that.
Alright. So give me dexterity or strength, whatever is your highest. See if you can ferret around in the dark with your hand.
13.
13? Alright. Hang on 1 second. Alright.
I don't like how you flipped through that book.
You grab what you think is one of them, and you pull, and something pulls back. At which point you feel yourself being pulled in 2 different directions.
Ow.
Guys, do you hear me?
I don't know. Can we hear in magical darkness?
Yeah, you can hear magical darkness.
Yeah. Something's pulling me. Pull harder.
I am pulling.
Get help.
Have you tried pushing?
I assume that Chuck's not trying to stay in the
Pull me
room.
back.
Yeah, Chuck wants
Can you
out.
pull me?
Alright.
Yeah, okay. I
The
can try to
Dragonborn's
pull.
gonna pull me back with him.
Alright. Give me a perception check for Chuck. You roll with advantage on your strength check as the Dragonborn pulls you back.
Chuck gets a 19 plus
Alright.
whatever.
Chuck, very panicked, squeezes past everybody, pushing his way back to the back of the hall.
It's dark.
I
It's
got
like
19.
night.
19?
Dead of night
He
dark.
signed up for beer. He didn't sign up for this.
My ability.
Alright, whatever has him is stronger than you are.
With help? From
With
the
a 19,
Dragonborn?
yeah, it still has.
F that. I won't give up on you guys. Tristan.
We're all about to be pulled in.
So is it attacking me?
You feel like you're being hugged, and about that time, something bites down into your neck.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, it breaks the skin.
Oh, jeez.
You take 7 piercing damage and 8 necrotic damage.
Ah, zombies.
So
And your hit point maximum
Well, technically they are zombies, but
decreases by 8.
vampires are more than that. He got bit on the neck.
Well, we're not sure
Okay.
it's a vampire.
so Tristan can use shocking rebuke, right? Because he's been attacked.
Yes, that's your.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Your Tempest Cleric ability.
has to make a dex save.
Do you have Turn Undead yet?
Yeah.
You should have Turn Undead.
We're only 3rd level.
Don't you get Turn Undead third level?
You are the 3rd level.
Yeah, you
I
didn't get it
thought
second
you got
level.
it second.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Alright,
I'll
well,
look
it
it
takes
up while
lightning
you're
damage from you.
fighting for your life.
Takes 8 lightning damage.
Alright.
Is that enough to break its concentration so they can pull me out?
Give me a strength check. With advantage, because they're all tugging at you.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Alright. Yeah, they got a 19. So.
Yeah, it's second level. You can do turn undead.
All right, so you pull back and you've broken out of whatever grasp you're in, and you're back into the hallway.
Close the door.
Tristan.
So we're out of combat?
Yes.
Definitely cure myself. Seven. So what is wrong with me?
How much did you heal yourself?
7 points.
Okay, how many hit points were you at?
2.
Okay. So you're back to 9.
Okay.
Essentially, what's your hit point maximum?
24.
24?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as of now, your hit point maximum is 16.
Okay.
And do we know why?
It, like, sucked the life out of them.
But we don't know. It's not. Is it a disease or something like that, or it's just for the next?
Give me a religion check.
It'd be pretty bad if the cleric didn't help.
9.
9?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure what that thing was,
Yeah.
but it's some sort of like necrotic effect that it could be one of the. It depends. It could be the kind of effect that goes away after a long rest, or it could be a kind of effect that has to has to be like remove curse or cure disease or.
We probably shouldn't go in there.
No, I think not. Unless I light it up with some fire.
I have lightning. Does that help?
Well, it's 9:30, so we're gonna stop there.
Okay. Oh, Tristan, my friend.
On the cliffhanger of the creature that's in the dark.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
All right.
Sounds like a darn vampire to me.
It does.
Psychic vampires?
Sounds like a vampire to Mike. But to someone with
8
intelligence.
It's like,
Sounds like scary, dark, black stuff.
yeah.
Oh wow, the darkness itself bit him.
Man, that darkness is pretty hungry.
You got bit by the darkness.
Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you like this, tune in every day of the week. We got stuff for every day as far as board game night. Thanks to I wrote these down. I hope I'm not mispronouncing this. Toper Hurley, Olnor, and Mathu for following. You guys are great, fantastic. It's you guys that keeps this going on. I don't have a lot more to say. I'm running out of here.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see y'all next time. I've practiced all that way too much.
No, you didn't. That's good. Because if you hadn't practiced that, I would have to practice that, and that'd be one more thing for me to do every day.
That's fair. You memorize a lot of other stuff.
Or I make it up and then I have to try to remember it later.
Yeah.
Notes.
Notes. I love note takers.
I don't know how much is too much and how much is not enough, so I'm trying to find like decent, every now and then. And I've also noticed that for whatever reason, when I'm playing D&D, I think like maybe I need to read more of the lore, because I try so hard to figure out what I know and what I don't know, or what I should know as a person who exists in this world, and then I can't remember anything. Like, I don't know why, but I cannot remember anybody's name in this game. Like, you have, like, if I don't write down the person, like Rickus, I wasn't gonna remember his name. Never. Nope.
It's okay. I make up the names and I wouldn't remember them if they weren't written down.
Do you want me to actually share this document with you? Because I am happy to do so.
That would be fantastic.
Do you have a Gmail account?
Yes.
Alright, I'll get it from you in a bit.
Alright.
Thank you for watching our Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers League. Want to see more? Make sure to hit the subscribe button and bell to know the next time we post to YouTube. Join in on the fun on our live stream at twitch.tv/CapeFearGames. And check out our website, capefeargames.com, for all your gaming needs. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.